So the Eagles have that burden going in, and the Bears have won the toss. Paul McFadden will be kicking off for the Eagles, and the Bears will send Thomas Sanders, number 20, and Dennis Gentry, number 29. And it was Gentry returned the kick 91 yards for a score last week. Underway in a short kick, and it's Sanders at the 9. Knocked down with a crunching blow just beyond the 20-yard line, and the play is made by Jody Schultz. So Mike Tomczak, in his first regular season start at quarterback for the Bears, will face this Philadelphia defense. Byron Darby, Ken Clark, Reggie White, and Greg Brown up front. The linebackers are Gary Cobb, Mike Reichenbach, and Alonzo Johnson. And in the secondary, Roynell Young and Evan Cooper are the corners, Andre Waters and Wes Hopkins, the safeties. Second year out of Ohio State at the 23. In motion is Gentry. Tomczak throwing on first down. Completes to Emory Moorhead, the tight end. And a big gain for Moorhead. Evan Cooper brings him down after a 27-yard pickup.
I think this is so smart by Mike Ditka, letting Tomczak throw on the first play of the game. Let him get the jitters over with. The excellent protection allows Moorhead to come on the crossing pattern. Tomczak puts it right on the spot, and that's a great way for the Bears to start the ball game. Tomczak needs that confidence, and that's what he got. A good shot of it right there.
Emory Moorhead, who was the second leading receiver last year, and a 10-year veteran. First and 10 at midfield for Chicago. Again to throw. Tomczak, and it's intercepted. Alonzo Johnson, the rookie from the University of Florida, picks that one off, and the Eagles have the ball at the 35-yard line. And what a stunner that is on the second play of the game.
Well, I think everyone expected Walter Payton to get the football, not even play action that time. The straight drop by Tomczak, just an ill-advised pass to say the very least. Johnson clearly in position to make the play, and that was just an awful throw.
Alonzo Johnson with the interception. First and 10 Eagles on their own 35. Ron Jaworski, the veteran quarterback. Jaws will throw on the first play of the game and overthrows Phil Smith, the wide receiver, covered by Mike Richardson. So Jaworski will look at a Chicago defense of Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, the refrigerator, William Perry, and Mike Hartenstein playing for Dent up front. Otis Wilson, Mike Singletary, and Wilbur Marshall, the linebackers. Corners are Mike Richardson and Reggie Phillips. Dave Buerson and Gary Fessick are the safeties. Second down and 10 at the 35. Welcome to the NFL, and William Perry making the tackle. So Byers, in his first NFL start and the #1 draft pick out of Ohio State, is hit by Perry.
William Perry playing his right defensive tackle. This is a new defense for the Bears. This is their 4-3. He just strictly beats Kenny Reeves. This is their primary defense. Perry on the line, fights off Reeves, and Keith Byers doesn't have a chance. There's a lot more to William Perry than just running goal line offense.
Third down and 8 at the 37. And Jaworski stays in on this passing down and completes the pass to Mike Quick, and it'll be an Eagle first down at the 47-yard line. Vesty Jackson, rookie nickelback, making the tackle and a gain of 10.
Mike Quick simply running the sideline pattern. He's working out of the inside slot against number 24, Vesty Jackson, who's the Bears' nickelback. And Ron Jaworski told us that as what was going to be different than last week, where Randall Cunningham came in on third and passing situations, this time Ron's going to stay in the ballgame. That time he puts it right on the money to Quick.
Junior Tautalatazi, the rookie who started last year for the Eagles, is now in there at running back, first and 10 for the Eagles at the 47. Tautalatazi will lose a yard on that play. And the tackle by Wilbur Marshall, who returned an interception 58 yards against the Browns in the opener.
Is Richard Dent on the sidelines. On Wednesday, 5 minutes before practice was to start, he said that his back was stiff. There's no way that he could play. Mike Ditka said the rules around here, if you're hurt, you've got to get treatment. You've got to talk to the trainer ahead of time. I know you're healthy enough to play, but you're on the bench.
And he may see action at that. So Tortolatazi, who played last week, now teamed with Michael Haddix in the backfield. Jaworski on 2nd and 11, incomplete and going for Tortolatazi. And Otis Wilson, the linebacker, covering on the play. The rest of the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles, Byers and Mike Waters. The running backs, Mike Quick and Phil Smith, are the wide receivers. Joe Conwell makes his first start at tackle with Ken Reeves, Jerry Feary, Ron Baker, Leonard Mitchell, and the tight end, Dave Little. It'll be 3rd down, 11, and the Eagles at their own 46-yard line. 3 wide receivers in there now for Philadelphia. Ron Johnson is in. Jaworski got Phil Smith and another first down and out of bounds in Chicago territory. Mike Richardson makes the tackle and a gain of 16 to Phil Smith.
This is where the veteran leadership of Jaworski shows on 3rd and long. Phil Smith, the wide receiver, again on the outside. Look at the cushion being given by Richardson. That's the key to the play. Mike Richardson giving up far too much ground, respecting Smith's speed, and it's an easy completion for Jaworski.
Mike Ditka called this week a circus. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Bears. And here's Byers showing some of the power he showed at Ohio State that made him the 10th pick in the draft. And Byers brings it to the 32-yard line of Chicago, where the stop is made by Mike Singletary and Gary Fensick.
And that time Gary Fensick paid the price with Keith Byers, who told us he likes to run to intimidate the defenders. He believes that with his size and his speed, that he likes to run over them as well as around them. And that time Fensick bounced off cleanly. The winner that time, Keith Byers.
2nd and 4 at the 32. Maybe a yard, and that's all, and the Bears were ready for him. Steve McMichael and Otis Wilson make the tackle. Steve McMichael in his 7th year.
Steve McMichael lined up right here. He's the left defensive tackle. Mike Singletary, as you see, has walked right up between Perry and McMichael. The Eagles told us if they're going to win, they're going to do so by throwing the football. That time they don't even block McMichael. Especially tough to run that way, Dick.
So it's 3rd and 4 at the 32. Jaworski has been successful on 3rd down conversion so far. And this time, Mike Waters, thinking Michael Haddix, gets about a yard. And it'll be 4th down. And Buddy Ryan, who returns to Chicago. McMichael and Singletary on the tackle. And it'll be 4th down and 4. And Paul McFadden has come into the ball game, and Jaworski will hold, and the Eagles will try to get on the scoreboard first. 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter, no score. And now the Eagles will call a timeout.
The Eagles didn't have enough people on the field to execute the field goal, and the 5-yard penalty would have put them out of distance.
And we come back, it'll be a 50-yard attempt by McFadden. Back, that's our story here in the first quarter. Paul McFadden has moved it up to a 49-yard attempt. He did not have any field goal attempts against the Redskins last week. Ron Jaworski will hold. And the kick is good. Paul McFadden, who can kick him deep, gives Buddy Ryan something to cheer about. And the Philadelphia Eagles, with 10:54 remaining in the first quarter, have silenced the crowd somewhat and have taken a 3-0 lead over Mike Ditka's Bears.
This is a team that I think it goes without saying that they were shocked last week in their loss to the Redskins, bombarded 41-14. That's what they needed, an early lead, and that's exactly what Mike Ditka didn't want to see.
Here's a reaction by McFadden, and I think a team, if either club is jittery, who do you think it would be more, the Eagles or the Bears right now, Dave?
Well, all the pressure is on the Chicago Bears, and I think all of it sits right on the shoulders of Mike Ditka. Imagine Mike Ditka if by chance they should lose this game to Philadelphia. Imagine what he's going to hear from Buddy Ryan. Well, this is what I've been telling you all along. You know, I've been the guy running the show. I wouldn't want to be Mike Ditka today.
And he admitted as much, as a matter of fact, when we talked to him the other day. But let's keep it in perspective. It is only 3-0, and we have a long way to go in this game. So McFadden, who just kicked the field goal, will be kicking off again to the same duo of Dennis Gentry and Thomas Sanders. That's Gentry, who has returned kicks for touchdowns the last 2 regular season games. This one heading over, and it's going to be Gentry at the 10. Good move by Gentry, and he's upended at the 28-yard line, and a fine play by Evan Cooper. Well, we spoke with Mike Tomczak prior to the game, and he wasn't nervous, just a bit excited about getting his first start. Here's what he said would be the key to his success today.
I think facing the 46 defense and Buddy Ryan in particular is going to take quite a challenge because they're going to put a lot of pressure on me. I'm young, and you know, common sense tells me they're going to come after me. I have to be smart and just be patient, wait to see what the defense is going to give me. Something's going to happen sooner or later, and I just can't go out there and just go haywire and commit turnovers because Coach Ditka, #1, won't stand for that, and I know it's going to hurt our team in the long run.
First and 10 at the 29 for the Bears. Walter Payton carries for the first time. And Payton will have a first down. Reggie White making the tackle and a gain of 11 yards. Payton needed 27 yards coming into this game to reach 15,000 for his marvelous career.
The Bears so effectively all last year and this year as well have gotten both of their guards out in front leading the sweep. We'll see Payton taking the ball right here, but both of these guards, Thayer and Bortz, run very, very well. Thayer will be the lead blocker. He gets the kick out. Bortz, number 62, turns back, seals he inside, picks off Alonzo Johnson. Good pickup for the Bears.
First and 10, Chicago on the 40. That's the tight end, Moorhead. And Payton slices off the left side and brings it to the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and the tackle made by Reichenbach and Hopkins. The rest of the Bears offense, Matt Suhey is the fullback. Galt and Dennis Gentry, who's in for Ken Marjoram at wide receiver. And the offensive line, Colbert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, and Van Horn, and Moorhead, the tight end. Second down and 6 now for the Bears on their own 44. 3-0 Philadelphia. Open field ahead of him, to the 40, to the 30-yard line. Willie Gall. Evan Cooper on the tackle, a 34-yard gain by the speedster.
Set up beautifully. The Eagle defense just went into pursuit far too quickly. Keith Van Horn is out in front of Willie Galt. Van Horn says, I'm going as fast as I can go, but unfortunately I'm not in Willie's league. And the Bears, with the first big play of the game, get it down to the 23-yard line.
Willie Gall was the only wide receiver who caught a pass last week against the Browns. First and 10 now for Chicago on the Eagles 23. Play action. Tomczak in a bit of trouble. And nearly intercepted by Roynell Young, and a penalty marker is thrown in the end zone. Pass was intended for Dennis Gentry. And it'll be offensive interference against Chicago. Dick Jorgensen will give us the call.
And a penalty I think that Gentry has to take, because this is going to be a turnover. The ball severely underthrown. Gentry with the left hand on his back. That's what he got called for, actually, before he went up into the air. But if you're Dennis Gentry, you got to
interference, number 29, offense, 10 yards, still first down.
Tomczak was in a lot of trouble, of course. He was flushed out of the pocket and threw a short pass, and Roynell Young had a better angle on it.
And I think Gentry saved an interception. Gladly give up 10 yards for that play.
So the Bears now had the ball at the 21, now have it back to the 33-yard line. It was at the 22 originally after the reverse by Galt. First and 20. Matsui. And hit by Wes Hopkins, who this year is going to have to play a lot more linebacker than free safety in many of the defenses.
And not overly thrilled about it either. Wes, a Pro Bowler at free safety, usually played 12, 15 yards back off of the ball. Now a lot of times finds himself only 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. Hardly big enough at that time. He was in there and made the good tackle.
Started in the Pro Bowl last year, but has had to make a tremendous adjustment with the new defense instituted by Buddy Ryan. So it'll be 2nd and 18. Bears at the Eagle 31. 3-0 Philadelphia, 7:34 remaining in the first quarter. On a draw, Matsui. And Matsui will be stopped at the 31 by Reggie White. And, you know, the Eagles going in have a very formidable front four defense.
That they do. Darby Clark, Reggie White, and Greg Brown, a capable group. Reggie White, already the center of some controversy, as Buddy Ryan has alienated some of the Bear defensive linemen by saying that Reggie White is better than any of the Bear defensive linemen. Hampton, McMichael, they don't think a whole lot of that. Neither does Richard Dent.
I just came into this. Did Buddy Ryan alienate anybody here?
No, what a soft-spoken, mild-mannered guy. The original Clark Kent.
3rd down and 18. See how the Bears react. 4 wide receivers. Tomczak will run and will be tackled from behind at the 20 by Greg Brown, and that will put the Bears in field goal range. A gain of 11, so alert play by Tomczak, and Kevin Butler comes on.
But yet tentative at the same time. As he approached the line of scrimmage, he just wasn't sure whether he wanted to pull up and make the throw or take off with the football. After his last several passes, I think he was wise in running the football.
Here's Butler, who kicked his longest field goal of his career last week, 47 yards. This will be a 38-yard attempt here with Steve Fuller, the backup quarterback, holding. And Butler's kick is no good. It is off to the right. Now, the official on the left wasn't sure, but the other official was certain. And Kevin Butler misses a field goal, and the Eagles still lead 3-0. 5:55 on the clock.
Kevin Butler misses the field goal. Watch how close this is. It looks good from there, but it's going to start to drift to his right. And what's interesting here is to watch the 2 officials under the goalpost. This official right here, who's away from it, won't make any signal at all, and this guy clears it, as you can see, and says no good.
So Butler misses a 48-yarder after McFadden clicked on a 49-yard attempt, and it's 3-0. Ron Jaworski brings out the Eagles 1st and 10 at the 20. Up ahead is Michael Haddix. And not getting much, testing the middle of the Chicago Bears line. The stop was made by Mike Singletary. Haddix has been a disappointment as a former #1 draft pick in his 4th year and hasn't averaged even 3 yards a carry in his career.
And Mike Waters, a free agent, starting in front of Haddix, getting most of the playing time. Probably their biggest surprise of training camp was Mike Waters, who's put Haddix on the bench.
2nd down and 6 at the 24. Jaworski's in trouble. And John Spagnola showed good hands there as he held on to the ball at the 26. Wilbur Marshall making the tackle on Spagnola, who did not start this game.
John Spagnola has been the starting tight end for the Eagles for a number of years, but I believe it'll be Steve McMichael that gets in there and forces Ron to throw away from his throwing lane. He wanted to go to the right, but again, the veteran quarterback finds someone. He knew that Spagnola was clear to the weak side and got him the football.
11 new starters for the Eagles. Spagnola, not one of them, of course, was in there on that play. 3rd and 4 at the 26. Haddix wide open. And He'll get the first down. Head down. Michael Haddix had 2 defenders. Richardson makes the stop, and the Eagles are doing something here they haven't even done last year. Convert first third down situation.
Ron Jaworski told us yesterday we're not going to be able to run the ball down the throat of the Bears. We couldn't do it against the Redskins. We're certainly not going to do it against the Bears. He's running the high possession passing game. Richardson there, I think, made a mistake. He didn't come up and try to make the tackle and keep him from getting the first down. Instead, the head went down, and Haddix got the first down pickup.
At the 32-yard line. And getting the handoff is Keith Byers. And a slew of monsters led by Wilbur Marshall and William Perry and Dan Hampton giving the official kind of a lecture here.
Dan Hampton appears that he thinks he's been held at least, but absolutely nothing in there at all. Keith Byers met right at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a long day if they keep trying to hammer Byers in between the guards.
Second down and 8 for Jaworski at the 34. We still haven't seen Randall Cunningham, who came in 8 times on 3rd and long against Washington. There's Blitz, penalty marker down, and so is Jaworski. Wilbur Marshall came in. The question is, did he go offside before? And the official has to separate a few of the combatants.
Well, there certainly was movement. William Perry down in his stance, but this is Mike Singletary, and when he's trying to blitz and giving all that movement right next to William Perry, he may have distracted Perry. That's Wilbur Marshall, by the way, who actually gets in there on the quarterback.
72, defense, still second.
And Dan, it wasn't Marshall who went offside, but William Perry.
Well, William Perry is down in his stance. You have to understand that when he sees those feet right next to him, very jittery, moving. If Marshall takes a step, acts like he's going across the line, that can really, in essence, draw the refrigerator offside as well.
Jim McMahon has the best seat in the house.
Well, that's the best way to find out if the ball is inflated properly.
Second and 3 at the 39. The Eagles lead it 3-0. Jaworski getting pressured by Perry and down. That's the first sack of the ball game.
William Perry is becoming a dominating defensive lineman. He's working against Ken Reeves, a former tackle, now at guard. He strictly takes the outside rush, beats him to the quarterback. Deceptive speed for a man the size of William Perry. Mike Ditka called him our most dominating defensive lineman during the preseason.
Loss of 7.
A long way, by the way, from a wasted draft choice.
Yeah, right. 3rd and 10, back at the 32-yard line. Al Harris is in the game as a rushing lineman, number 90. And the whistle blows, and Dave Duerson puts the bear hug on Jaworski, and that's all. The clock, the 30-second clock, may have expired. Dick Jorgensen will explain. Well, the Eagles have not been able to run against this team so far, averaging less than 2 yards a carry. So Jaworski keeping the ball in the air. Jorgensen.
Play, number 7, offense, still 3rd down.
Make it 3rd and 15 for Ron Jaworski. Last week played well, according to Buddy Ryan, despite the fact that the team got beaten badly, got no protection.
And that delay penalty may have cost Jaworski a heck of a shot. Duerson was wide open.
Randall Cunningham remains on the sideline. So Jaworski stays in on 3rd and long. Back to the 27. Jaworski steps up and completes the pass to Ron Johnson, and it'll be a first down at the 45-yard line. Mike Richardson on the tackle. And Jaworski has worked continually to Richardson's side so far.
And again, look at the size of the cushion between Ron Johnson and Mike Richardson. Richardson knows he needs 15 yards for the first down. Somebody has to explain to me why he's giving him that much leeway. That's an awful easy pickup.
Jaworski's description of the Bears secondary was vulnerable, and he right now has been successful on 4 of 6 third down attempts. First and 10, Eagles on their own 44. There's the time remaining in the first quarter. Keith Byers hit by Duerson, and a loss of the play of about 3 yards. That gain, by the way, to Ron Johnson was 17 yards.
Dave Duerson, the strong safety, is lined up right on the line of scrimmage. His job, penetrate, get upfield, and disrupt the flow of the play. He did more than his job this time. He even actually made the tackle, fought off the block of the tight end Dave Little. Keith Byers never even has a chance.
Pro Bowl in his first year as a starter. Dave Duerson, the strong safety. Second down and 12. Eagles on their 42. Quick toss completes to Dave Little, the tight end, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of midfield. Duerson makes the play on Little.
An excellent example right there of what Ron Jaworski told us yesterday. To play quarterback against the Bears, there's only one thing. Get back and get rid of the football. Right there, he didn't have that ball, Dick, for more than 3 seconds.
Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf here at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, and a dramatic early season matchup with the key characters, the coaches, Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan, and it's the Eagles who lead Mike Ditka's Bears 3-0 with 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 5 at the 49. And now the Bears call a timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts remaining in the first half as we take a break. Words in that sign here at Soldier Field.
Jerk, fatso, pansies, and of course the pansies is attributed to the fullback, Mike Waters of the Eagles, who I think earlier in the week took a big gamble in calling Mike Singletary and the rest of the Bear linebackers pansies. And this may be a humanitarian gesture on Buddy Ryan's part, keeping him out of the game. He may go out in one piece and come back in a bag.
3rd and 6 at the 49. Eagles have been very successful on third down conversion. Jaworski going down that sideline again, and incomplete. Richardson covers Ron Johnson that time. And Jaworski has just had a bead on that right sideline throughout this first quarter. But it's 4th down, and it's a punting situation, and into the game is John Telchik, who was a 9th-round draft pick by the Bears. They waived him, and Telchik right now leads after 1 week the NFC punting. The Bears will send down Lou Barnes, 5th-round draft pick out of Oregon. Coming up to meet it is Barnes, and he's hit by Andre Waters. 35-yard punt, but Buddy Ryan will take it as the Eagles are hemmed in inside their own 20.
And a barefoot kicker, there aren't many of those around today. Lucky this game in Chicago is here in September and not December.
Well, you know, we usually picture Walter Payton as the quiet, modest type, and he's had his moments. I remember when the Bears were in London, where he had a chance to show what he could do.
And he was also very vocal last year, Dick, after he didn't get a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That hurt him.
1st and 10 for the Bears on their 17. Mike Tomczak struggled so far. Throw the interception that turned into an Eagle score eventually. Here's Payton. Outside. Andre Waters, Evan Cooper, and Waters combined to make the tackle. A good block by Tom Thayer. And it's just shy of a first down as the clock ticks down, ending this first quarter. Walter Payton, 1 touchdown shy of 100 for his career. And there's the gun, ending the first quarter here at Soldier Field in Chicago, where the Eagles lead the Chicago Bears 3-0. Stockton and Dan Deerdorf. We've been talking about Walter Payton, and earlier this week he showed his brash side when Irv Cross asked him about the Bears' chances of repeating as Super Bowl champions.
Can the Bears repeat?
Yeah, they can. As long as I'm here.
And you know, he's probably right, Dan, and that 100 touchdown would be rushing. He has a lot more as a pass receiver, and the next time he carries the ball would be another milestone.
He only needs 2 yards to go over the 15,000-yard rushing plateau, and every time he carries the ball, he's establishing his own mark of greatness.
Second down and 1 for the Bears at their own 26 as we start the second quarter. And Payton will get his 2 yards and more. 15,000 plus. Payton will get the ovation from the crowd as he carries to the 34, Greg Brown, the tackle. And they're going to rise for this.
Every generation, if you know where to look, gets to see greatness. I would have loved to have seen Red Grange carry the football. Maybe 20, 30 years from now, some kid will ask me about Walter Payton, and I'll say, you should have seen him. He was really something special.
He gained 113 yards against the Browns last week. And now with that behind them, the Bears have a 1st and 10 on their 35.
And a quick look at the scoreboard will tell you it's time to go back to work.
Contact, play action. Dumps it off to Payton. And Payton is hit by Gary Cobb, Eagle outside linebacker. Buddy Ryan was telling us that the Eagles have been on the verge of being a good football team. Their defenses have been good, but he's looking for more than that now, isn't he?
Well, it's just been such a traumatic change for the Eagles. Anytime a new coach comes in, understandably that's difficult, but Buddy has added so many new players, new types of defenses, new styles of offenses. His movement last week of Cunningham in, then Jaworski. He does so many things in an unorthodox way. I think his football team is still reeling a bit.
2nd and 12. At the 33 for the Bears. 13:40 remaining in the second quarter. Tomzak completes to Gentry. What a move by Dennis Gentry, and he'll get a 1st down. Andre Waters and Roynell Young on the stop. A gain of 13 for the Bears.
Yesterday when we talked to Dennis Gentry, we asked him, what do you think is your strongest suit in playing wide receiver? And he says, I definitely think it's after I catch the football, my ability to run. And he shows it right here, knowing where the sticks are, needing the 1st down. Almost puts Andre Waters on the ground. Dennis Gentry, a threat after the ball as well as before he gets it.
1st and 10 at the 46. Gentry, converted running back, now with a chance to show what he can do after backing up Payton, who's in motion. Suey goes nowhere. Stopped in his tracks at the 45-yard line. And the tackle, Alonzo Johnson. And Gary Cobb. Gary Cobb, a former Detroit Lion, was acquired in the deal that sent Wilbert Montgomery to the Lions, and the Eagles hope that Keith Byers will be their next Wilbert Montgomery.
Of course, one of the stories there is that they thought they got their own Wilbert Montgomery in Ernest Jackson. And Ernest Jackson not getting any action at all as an Eagle.
2nd and 11, ball at the 45. Tomzak finds Suey. Suey, 1st down into Eagle territory at the 42-yard line. A gain of 14, and Suey showed some moves on that open field situation. Waters and Cooper.
I think Wes Hopkins said, come on now, fullbacks aren't supposed to be able to stop that quickly. A semi-rollout wide open is Matt Suey. Right here, he's going to put the outside move. Put on the brakes back to the inside of Wes Hopkins. can't make the reaction. I think that move and that quickness by Suey surprised him.
Suey was the leading receiver for the Bears last week with 6 receptions. First and 10 at the Eagle 42. 3-0 Philadelphia. 11:15 to go in the first half. Tomczak. And a great hit was put on Gentry by Andre Waters. And there's Waters got a little shaken up.
And Waters times this perfectly. He's in bump and run coverage. You see him come off. That's Waters making the reaction to Gentry as he comes in underneath. He timed that awful well.
And awful close.
Awful close. But I think in that case where the defender is driving through from behind, more often than not, he'll get the benefit of the call.
Second and 10 at the 42-yard line. Waters is out of the game, and Elbert Fowles, number 29, replaces him. Payton hemmed in, and he is knocked out of bounds. So the Eagles with good lateral pursuit that time. It was Elbert Fowles who just entered the game, who penetrated. Hopkins also involved.
Spreading out the offense. That's what the Eagles did that time. That's a play the Bears run probably 6 or 7 times a ball game where they pull almost the entire offensive line. The Eagles were ready that time.
Dan, in his 46 defense, you can leave yourself really vulnerable. Have the Eagles done that at all so far?
No, they're playing very little 46. And so are the Bears. The Bears have been playing primarily the 4-3. As you said, now their new base defense.
3rd and 12 at the 44-yard line. Mike Tomczak, the quarterback for the Bears. Gives it to Payton, being chased from behind. Cross field, incomplete. And it was Byron Darby who gave chase, and Tomczak is enraged. Pass was intended for Tomczak, actually, after the ball was handed off to Payton.
Walter Payton has thrown the ball effectively more than any running back who's ever played the game. See the way he's carrying the ball out in front that he's going to make the throw. Back across field, what a risky pass. You can't see what happened, but Mike Tomczak was the intended receiver, but the Bears now have to punt.
Maury Buford punted only once last week. Bill Smith is deep for the Eagles. Byron Darby put tremendous pressure on Payton. A fine kick by Buford. Penalty marker is down, and the ball went out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Out of bounds at the 7, but their flag is down. And apparently it's against the Bears. We'll wait and see for the official call. Dick Jorgensen, our referee today. And it's a holding call against Philadelphia.
That'll be an automatic first down if it is. Unless it came after the kick. If it came after the kick, then it won't be.
Rolling, number 81, receiving team, while the ball is in the air. That's the distance to the goal line. First down.
Kenny Jackson. We saw the Eagles applauding that penalty call, but they were deceived, and so they're hemmed in on half the distance to the 4-yard line, and Philadelphia in trouble. We have 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. The Eagles lead the Bears 3-0, but they'll be starting this drive from the 4-yard line. What do you anticipate for the Bears defense here, Dan?
Well, I would have to think that Jaworski won't be afraid to throw the football right here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the end zone. This is the type of territory where a team like the Bears loves to blitz. Let's keep an eye on Wilbur Marshall and Singletary. One of them may be coming.
The Eagles have gained only 11 yards. Their longest gain was 6 on the ground. First and 10. Maddox and Byers are the running backs. And it's Pete Byers. And Byers, forward motion. Dan Dan Hampton and Dave Duerson with a good play, and back to the 4.
The line of scrimmage has to be controlled by the Eagles in this type of a situation. But we're going to see this line of scrimmage move backwards as we get the penetration by the Chicago Bears. And by the way, Richard Dent is now in the ball game for the Bears.
They didn't do much for Byers there. Second down and 10 at the 4. And Dent is in there. Did not start. Ditka needs him now. Jaworski has time and throws it away. Byers was the closest to him. McMichael came storming in on Jaworski.
Let's take a look at Richard Dent, just into the ball game. The premier pass rusher in the National Conference, working on the tight end, gets outside Smith, now comes back inside, beats Conwell, and flushes Jaworski. I guess Mike Ditka figures he's learned his lesson. I need it.
Dent got the only sack for the Bears in their opening game against Cleveland. And Randall Cunningham has now come in at quarterback for the first time today on 3rd and 10 at the 4-yard line. What pressure. Wow. Cunningham has got to be ice cold. He can run. And Cunningham is going to get the first down for the Eagles, which is precisely why Buddy Ryan had him in there. Wilbur Marshall knocked him out of bounds, a pickup of 16.
Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator, has to be beside himself. He knows that when Randall Cunningham is in the ball game, the more than likely he's there to run. He takes a perfunctory look downtown and then heads out of the pocket. Someone lost contain for the Bears. That's a serious error when you've got the other team playing in their own end zone.
And an ice-cold quarterback came in and ran for it. 1st and 10. Jaworski is back in at quarterback at the 20-yard line. Dumps it off. Michael Haddix. Brought down hard, and William Perry and Keith Byers. And now some other people get in the act. Jerry Feary. And maybe these teams don't like each other after all game, not just the coaches.
Well, we've seen a little too much of this, I think, recently. The Bears were involved in a major brawl with the Cardinals during the preseason. They really don't need to get involved in this again. Perry obviously upset. Immediately to the left, Richard Perry, number 72, and he actually got hit by Byers. Byers initiated that little confrontation. Keith, I don't know if you've taken a real close look at that guy. I don't know that that's in your best interest, but Perry was pretty much minding his own business, and Byers got it going.
When it's all said and done, it's 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles on their 22-yard line. 9:32 to go in the first half. Eagles lead 3-0. Jaworski, and it's caught by Byers out of the backfield. Wilbur Marshall makes the tackle. But still, the Eagles did not really gain much yardage as they go to their rookie running back as a receiver for the first time.
The Chicago Bears have changed defense. This is the straight 4-3, 4-down lineman. The center uncovered. He's handled by Mike Singletary. This is the old-fashioned way to play defense. It's Vince Tobin's idea. The 4-6, not used a whole lot by the Bears. Just a straight 4-man pass rush, and this is good pass protection by the Eagles.
Eagles are 5 of 7 on 3rd down. Ball is at the 24. Jaworski decked back at the 10-yard line. And it was Dave Duerson who penetrated that time along with some of his buddies. Loss of 12, and it's 4th down.
The Eagles have to throw. Wilbur Marshall's going to come on the blitz to the inside. He's going to draw the block of the lone back who's staying in the backfield as Marshall comes up the middle. This clears Duerson all the way.
John Telchick punting to Lou Barnes, who calls for the fair catch, and Telchick got off a bad kick there. And the Bears will have a golden opportunity at the 33 when we come back. And Dan Deerdorf back at Soldier Field in a surprise so far with that much time remaining in the half. 3-0 Philadelphia. A 49-yard field goal by Paul McFadden. Kevin Butler missed a 38-yard attempt for Chicago's bid. But John Telchik just got off a woeful 21-yard punt, and the Bears have a 1st and 10 on the Eagle 33. Peyton and Calvin Thomas, number 33, are the backs. Inside the 30-yard line, Alonzo Johnson makes the tackle, and lo and behold, we have seen the 46 defense.
This time by the Eagles, the 3 down linemen covering off the center, both guards. Here are the 2 linebackers over here, Johnson and Cobb covering the tight end. We're going to see Hopkins come on the blitz. That is the 4-6. Gary Cobb works upfield, turns it back to the inside. That's the way it's supposed to work. The outside guy gets upfield, the pursuit cuts him off.
Thomas Sanders, number 20, is in the game, but there are 4 wide receivers with Walter Payton on 2nd down and 6. And Payton fights his way to the 19-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and short for Chicago. Ken Clark and Terry Hogue, a nickelback, making the stop for the Eagles.
I think it's safe to say that Mike Ditka right now is calling one of the highest percentage passes he has in the playbook if they're going to throw. He doesn't want to put Tom Zach under any sort of pressure. With this short of yardage, 2 yards, they probably will run.
Coming up next, the 49ers and the Rams. And the 49ers have beaten the Rams 5 straight times in Anaheim. Some of you may see Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Second half of our CBS doubleheader. 3rd and 2 at the 24. We'll have the 1st down for Chicago, close to the 20-yard line. Reggie White on the stop. Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf, Soldier Field, Chicago. Only the 2nd week of the season, but with all the media here and the ticket demands, you would think it'd be a playoff game because of Buddy Ryan's return to Chicago against his former boss, Mike Ditka, and a big favorite was the Bears coming into this game, but Buddy Ryan's Eagles lead 3-0 with 6:15 to go in the first half. Tomczak fires, intercepted by Andre Waters in the end zone. And so for the 2nd time today, Tomczak has thrown an interception. Alonzo Johnson the 1st time, Andre Waters here.
I believe he was trying to get the ball to Willie Gault. But that ball sailed at least 3 or 4 yards over the head of Willie all the way down into the end zone. And Tomczak, look at the ball, no spiral on it whatsoever. And I'd have to think that at this point in time, Mike Ditka is seriously considering removing him from the game.
Well, the Bears haven't scored against Buddy Ryan's defense. And we'll take a timeout. Mike Tomczak said, I can't afford to make mistakes in this game, and so far that's all he's done.
And already 2 mistakes to 2 interceptions, and that time the Bears start on the 32-yard line and don't get any points.
Michael Haddon on 1st down carries it out to the 25. The man who would come in if Mike Ditka makes a change would be Steve Fuller, who of course performed so well when McMahon was out last year.
Well, you really have to wonder what's going through Mike Ditka's mind right now. If he pulls Tomczak at this point in the game, does he really do irreparable damage to the kid's confidence? But at the same point in time, this is a ball game that he very much wants to win.
Still early, though. 5:35 to go in the first half. 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. Jaworski, and that was nearly intercepted by Mike Richardson on the pass that was intended for Dave Little, the tight end.
One of the things the Eagles like to do is try to get the ball to Little, who has outstanding speed for a tight end. As you can see, that time he was a step in front of Otis Wilson, but Richardson almost came in and made the pickoff. Almost a case of giving it right back by the Eagles.
3rd and 6 at the 24. Jaworski has his man close to a 1st down, Michael Haddix, who has been the forgotten man along with Ernest Jackson, 1,000-yard gainer, and it's going to be very important where they spot this ball. And it appears to be 4th down and inches. Reggie Phillips, the right cornerback, and Mike Singletary in on the play.
If you are a Bear fan and you wanted someone to make that tackle and keep the receiver from getting upfield for the first down, I think I'd send number 50 to do the job. That time, Mike Singletary, the excellent open field tackle, no forward progress. The Eagles punt.
John Telchik got off a 21-yarder the last time, and Lou Barnes deep for the Bears. Better kick this time, or the line drive below. Barnes at the 21. And Barnes making away into Philadelphia territory. Still going. And stepped out of bounds at the 20. Is there a flag upfield? There is. A penalty marker is down, and that may cancel the spectacular punt return by Lou Barnes.
Illegal use of hands against the Bears. It's going to come back.
And Buddy and the Eagles can breathe easy on that one. They're very fortunate there.
What a job of cross-court running. It's almost like in basketball, setting the play, coming cross-field that time by Barnes. Wasted.
59-yard return nullified.
Illegal block in the back. Number 20, receiving team. First down.
Thomas Sanders. What a difference that penalty made.
I think coming in from the left-hand side of your screen, let's see if we can see the illegal block by Sanders. Right there from behind, he hits number 53 of the Eagles. That's illegal use of hands, and a big play goes for nothing.
Wayne Giles.
The illegal use of hands call against Thomas Sanders happened right in front of Buddy Ryan. I think this explains his rather nonchalant. There's a flag up there. Let's not worry about it. It's coming back anyway. I won't even watch the end of the play.
First and 10 for the Bears, back on their 25-yard line with 4:20 remaining in the first half. Tom Zach still in there. Walter Payton. And Payton gets 5 yards to the 30. Ken Clark on the tackle. Mike Ditka talking things over with Steve Fuller. Tom Zach has completed 4 passes to his team and 2 to the Eagles so far.
Steve Fuller is always there, but Mike Ditka likes something in this guy. He's got an air about him. He likes to make things happen, but he just can't be making some of the mistakes he's made. Remember, there would have been a third interception if it wouldn't have been for Dennis Gentry in the end zone taking the offensive interference call.
Second and 5 at the 30. And Payton gets a hold this time, and Payton stopped just short of a first down. At the 34-yard line, Wes Hopkins with help from Ken Clark. And Payton so far has gained 53 yards on 11 carries.
Wes Hopkins, the all-pro free safety. Now free safety / linebacker. Going to have to spend a lot more time in the weight room. Their leading tackler of a year ago, but unfortunately the 15-yard cushion is gone as he's spending most of his time now on the line of scrimmage.
Third and 1. For Chicago, their own 34. And they give it to Payton, and Payton will lose this time. And it was Clyde Simmons, 9th-round draft pick from Western Carolina, number 96, who penetrated and really hit Payton a lick on that play. And it's 4th down, and the Eagles' defense looks awfully sharp.
Well, and I think Buddy Ryan's playing the percentages. I think he knew there was no way the Bears were going to put the ball in the air, especially at their own end of the field. They played run all the way and were successful.
Maury Buford will punt. Bill Smith is back for Philadelphia. And for the most part, it's been a silent Soldier Field today. Spiral that Smith has at the 23. Penalty flag down. Smith Brings it out to the 36-yard line, where he is tackled by Dennis Gentry and Jim Morrissey. But a flag is down.
Dwayne Giles, number 53, came flying in. Put a pretty good shot on Ron Rivera, the linebacker. Now the Eagles have moved backwards.
But with 2:06 remaining in the first half, Jorgensen will explain.
Illegal block in the back during the run back. Number 53, receiving team.
That's Dwayne Giles. It'll be first down, Philadelphia. Let's pick it up.
Watch number 59 to the right of your screen. That's Rivera. 53 is going to hit him from behind. No question about that. Dwayne Giles hitting from behind, moves the Eagles backwards.
Well, Dan, we have a chance to tell you that next Saturday it'll be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and what a scare they gave Michigan yesterday. They go against Michigan State Spartans live at 2:30 Eastern. College football on CBS. Keith Myers carries it out to the 20, and we'll have our 2-minute warning. And interesting that the Bears were not shut out the entire first half in any game last season, and they haven't scored yet today.
The beauty of patience is its gentle persistence.
They're just getting crunched by the Bears. If only they knew.
Timeouts remaining with 2 minutes to go. In the first half, it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles on their 21. Paul McFadden's 49-yard field goal in the first quarter, the only score. Jaworski dumps it off to Haddock, who goes out of bounds. Close to a first down. Reggie Phillips making the stop.
That ball thrown behind Haddix. Did a very nice job of turning his body back, catching the ball a bit behind him and getting upfield. Jaworski, wouldn't you say, Dick, I think looks very, very good.
He does, and that's the experience that he's showing today, whereas Mike Tomczak, who's probably playing with a much better club, is showing his inexperience. 3rd down and 1, so a 9-yard pickup for Haddock. Keith Myers appears to have the first down at the 30-yard line. And it is a first down and a timeout called by the Eagles. And they would like to see if they can get into position for perhaps another score before this first half is history. And let's take a look at some scores now. Atlanta trying to make it 2 in a row, leading the Cardinals in the second quarter.
New Orleans surprising Green Bay. New Orleans last week beaten soundly by Atlanta.
Dallas draws first blood over Detroit. Moving along other games, the Giants over San Diego. Their defenses made an impact. The Raiders and the Redskins are all tied in the second quarter. Cincinnati over Buffalo, 14-9. Houston over Cleveland, 7-0. And next Saturday, Notre Dame and Michigan State.
And Lorenzo White, the Heisman Trophy candidate for Michigan State, the NCAA's leading rusher of a year ago. And Notre Dame, I think, who surprised everyone yesterday in that effort against Michigan. And, you know, there was a questionable call in the back of the end zone with a Notre Dame receiver. They very well could have won that game if they make the field goal at the end. Lou Holtz is a hero, and I think he is anyway. I think he did a masterful job yesterday.
Yeah, except we're tired of hearing you whistle that Michigan fight song that we heard yesterday after that game was over.
Well, I don't want to. You know, I really sounded awful gracious for someone who went to Michigan and is delighted that they won.
Yeah. Must be very difficult for you to do.
Believe me, it was tough to swallow.
1st and 10 Eagles with 1:45 remaining. They're on their 30-yard line, and Philadelphia has 1 timeout left. Hampton putting pressure on Jaworski. Penalty flag down, and Byers off balance. Was spun down at the 29-yard line. He lost a yard, and it was Hampton who just messed that play up totally for the Eagles. And a holding penalty against Philadelphia. And last week, what a tough time Mr. Gillespie had at left tackle.
And that time it looked like Richard Dent may have been held. We'll have to wait and see. But I saw Richard go crashing to the turf.
Holding, number 79, offense, still first down.
So Tom Gillespie lost his job to that man, Joe Conwell of the USFL, making his first start, and he's guilty of holding.
That time Richard Dent took an inside move, and Joe Conwell said, nope, we're not going to have any of that. And he just outright tackled Richard Dent. And the line judge to the far side made the call. And that's it.
First and 20, back at the 20. Inside handoff to Byers. Slowed up by Mike Richardson. And out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 1:28 showing.
I believe when they watch films tomorrow, Keith Byers is going to be told by Buddy Ryan, I would like you to keep the ball inbounds and keep the clock running. And here comes Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham has been in for one play, but what a play it was. Third down and long in the end zone. He scampered 16 yards to get the Eagles out of trouble. He's got 2nd and 17 here at the 23. Cunningham fires to Mike Quick, and he catches it at the 35-yard line, shy of a first down. Stops the clock at 1:19. So Quick, with his first reception, good for 12 yards.
And Cunningham surprised me because when both of the ends went upfield, I thought he was going to run the football. This time, though, he elects to throw, and Mike Quick with the catch. Let's see if we can get it. Both feet inbounds, clearly. Good call by the officials, and excellent body control on the sidelines by Mike Quick.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Eagles on their 36-yard line. Randall Cunningham. Byers incomplete. Singletary was covering Haddix coming out of the backfield. And on the blitz, it'll be 4th down and Singletary. Duerson got some good penetration as well.
Dave Duerson comes in so many times untouched at the top of the screen. Cunningham's not going to see him. He feels him at the last moment and then gets rid of the football. The Bears so effectively blitz from the outside. You saw the back come up in the middle. He had to pick up Marshall. Duerson untouched, and that's tough on the quarterback.
Duerson spent a lot of time in the Eagle backfield so far today, and John Telchik will punt for the 4th time. Lou Barnes is back. Good kick. Barnes at the 25. Stopped right there by Andre Waters. Well, coming up at halftime, the NFL Today, Brent, Will, and Terry Bradshaw will look at today's activities so far and a special tribute, silver anniversary of broadcasting.
That's for Pat Summerall, 25 years in the business. You had yours about what, 10, 15 years ago?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. I will not tease you about the Michigan fight song anymore. Mike Tomczak, struggling in this first half, has 1st and 10 on the 25. Lou Barnes is in at wide receiver. Bears have 2 timeouts left. Nearly another interception, and that time it was Mike Reichenbach, the middle linebacker, who almost picked off a 3rd Tomczak pass.
Wow. I'm a bit surprised to see the Bears go into the shotgun with Tomczak, but that's exactly where they are. Mike Reichenbach, the inside linebacker, you see him to the right of the screen, reads the pass all the way. If that thing is 6 inches lower, or if he makes a little better move, he comes down with yet another interception.
2nd down and 10 for Tomczak, who is now 4 for 9 for 52 yards. 1:01 on the clock. Handoff. Payton has blocked it. And Walter Payton for the 1st down and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Gain of 16 on the play. Cooper and Hopkins on the play.
Walter Payton almost connected to the outside. The Bears love to bring their offensive linemen from the far side all the way over and get in front of the play. They love to put people in the point of attack. And Walter Payton so effectively can make a move off of that. 3 offensive linemen out in front. Both of your guards right here, the off tackle coming around. The lead blocker here. But watch Payton when he goes out of bounds. He takes a swing at the Eagle and almost hits him right there.
1st and 10, though, at the 41-yard line. Tomczak looking for big chunks of yardage. Finds Lou Barnes, the wide receiver. And Barnes fumbles it out of bounds. They're going to bring the ball back with the new rule in the NFL is that the place that he fumbled the ball, which was at the 46-yard line, not where he lost it out of bounds.
In the last 2 minutes of the half, Lou Barnes showing us a little open field running today. Mike Reichenbach misses it. Roynell Young misses a tackle, and the ball comes out.
And a gain of 13 yards. Lou Barnes, who caught a 55-yard pass from Tomczak in preseason against Buffalo.
It looked like Roynell Young got his hands up around the face mask, and that's when the ball came loose.
First and 10 at the 46 of Philadelphia. Tomczak gets hit and fires it away. It was Gary Cobb who blitzed on the play, and Tomczak never had a chance on this play. Second down and 10, 21-second show on the clock, and the Bears are trying to get in field goal range for Kevin Butler to try to tie this game up before the first half is history. They're right now at the Philadelphia 46-yard line. Keep in mind that Butler kicked the longest field goal of his two-year career last year, 47 yards.
Remarkable accuracy by Kevin, but not a great leg.
Tomczak hit, and it was Reggie White who got a piece of his arm, and the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. And you look at their pass rushing numbers and how many sacks they had last year, they're as good as anyone in the NFL.
Reggie White, who played with Memphis in the USFL, will become one of the NFL's most dominating defensive linemen. He's very close to being there right now. Keep in mind, this is no group of walk-ons playing offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Hilgenberg, and Covert, both Pro Bowl ball players. A couple others deserving as well.
Ball is at the 46-yard line, and the clock becomes a very important factor here. Knocked out of bounds with 11 seconds remaining. Evan Cooper with a hard hit. And one thing is clear, even up here, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles are hitting in crunching fashion so far today.
Nice open field block that time. Mark Bortz, his left guard, number 62. It's so hard to run, be under control, and then make the block.
They have 11 seconds to go. It is 4th down and 2. The more important than the first down, or as is important, obviously, is the Bears have to get enough yards for Kevin Butler, and they have to call a quick timeout. Tomczak shuffles to Gentry. Gentry's hit at the 35. Wes Hopkins making the tackle. That was a similar pass to the kind we saw made by Notre Dame, and we'll see the Irish against Michigan State next week in a timeout with 5 seconds to go.
And Butler walks out onto the field.
He missed a 38-yarder earlier.
This one will be beyond 50.
52 about for Butler, whose career high was last week 47 against Cleveland. What an improbable first half, Dan, we have seen here. The Eagles were heavy favorites, or the Bears were heavy favorites coming into this game, and a lot of people were, you know, really
writing this one off.
Not only writing this one off, but, you know, coming to a kind of a slaughter they were looking for, with Mike Ditka trying to put it on his former coach, Buddy Ryan. And what's happened here? It's been Philadelphia with a 3-0 lead, and Ditka really has to be feeling it here.
Well, 0 points on the board for the Bears, and you hate to just zero in on one person, but in reality, it's been the play of the quarterback position that has really hurt the Bears today. One would have to assume that they'd have fared better if Jim McMahon would be at the helm. I mean, I don't want to be too tough on Mike Tomczak, but he has been totally ineffective at quarterback.
And Buddy Ryan's game plan's been working well. The defense has Tomczak confused. His offense has not turned the ball over. Fuller will hold. This will be a 52-yard attempt with 5 seconds to go to try to tie the game. the Bears a first down. Well, they had a first down. I'm sorry, it'll move it up a few yards.
There must have been contact if he blew the whistle.
Number 94, defense, 5 yards.
Byron Darby.
First down.
That'll help. That'll make it a 47-yard attempt now.
Byron Darby, number 94, you see him move forward. And when he came up, he must have touched helmets because they wouldn't have thrown the flag because clearly he was back before the snap unless there was contact.
So now it's a 47-yard attempt, something Butler did last week.
Boy, what a mistake by the Eagles.
And this kick is no good, off to the left. So Kevin Butler has missed 2 field goals, and he had a break there, and that is the end of the first half here at Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka to have the lead. Eagles 3 and the Bears nothing, and they're booing here in Chicago.
Who would have thought that we would have heard a Soldier Field crowd boo the Bears, but they're doing just that.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the investment young man, as we talked to him the other day, has his own radio show in suburban Chicago. Kevin Butler will be kicking. Junior Tartalatazzi and Charles Crawford are back. And it's going over to Tartalatazzi at the 9. Tartalatazzi out to the 27-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will take over 1st and 10. Tackled by Thomas Sanders. Ron Jaworski, who has completed 9 of 14 passes for 67 yards. Bears have had the edge that way in rushing.
Really 45 rushing yards for Philadelphia, even more than I would have thought.
The biggest gainer was Cunningham with that 16-yard run. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia on their own 28. In the backfield. And Jaworski. Little, the tight end, ran a different kind of pattern than Jaworski had envisioned.
Yeah, that's called the go sit on the Bear bench pattern. He was only about 9 yards out of bounds. But that's, again, the veteran quarterback. Never even a hesitation. Just throws the ball way over everyone. Doesn't take a chance.
Well, the man who heads the Bears defense this year is a low-key guy, Vince Tobin.
The only member of Jim Mora's staff over with the Stars in the USFL that didn't go to New Orleans. Vince Tobin here in Chicago, and he may have the better job of the two.
2nd and 10 at the 28. Byers trying to get by McMichael. And coming up again from the secondary is Mike Richardson. Michael played that well.
The Bears rely so much on one individual being able to penetrate and thus disrupt the play. And they all seem to take turns in doing so. And that time it was Steve McMichael who, by being 2 to 3 yards into the Eagle backfield, forces Byers all the way to the sideline. He never gets his upfield momentum, and it's an easy defensive play for the Bears.
3rd down and 9 for the Eagles on their 29. Opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Jaworski, close, fumbles. If the Eagles have it, it's a 1st down.
If that ball didn't come out, or at least it looked like it didn't come out till he hit the ground, how are they ruling it?
Even if it isn't recovered there and they move it back, it'll still be a 1st down because he coughed it up at the 40-yard line, and that would be enough for a 1st down.
Remember, the field cannot cause a fumble.
Wilbur Marshall made the tackle, and getting up awfully slowly is Jaworski, and the Eagles did recover, and it is a 1st down, but concern has to be on Jaworski's help.
Yeah, they're glad they get the ball, but if they lose Jaworski, it's a bad deal. Ron Jaworski giving it everything, undercut there by Wilbur Marshall. Still has the ball That's a good call by the officials.
And Matt Cavanaugh has come on the field for the Eagles. Jaworski slow getting up. We don't know if he'll be back, but Cavanaugh is going to be in there now at least. Acquired from the 49ers, and a lot of people said the finest backup quarterback in the league. There's Jaworski going off on his own.
The Eagles gave a great deal for Cavanaugh. They gave a number 3 draft choice in this draft and a number 2 next year. And when Cavanaugh came to the Eagles, he came to start. Most people thought that he'd be the starting quarterback.
They are looking at a replay of that fumble.
The play stands. First down.
So they reviewed it on the instant replay, and it's still Philadelphia ball and a first down.
Now, he bobbles the ball a bit right there, but he clearly is clutching it to his chest when he makes contact with the field. You can't argue with that call.
So Matt Cavanaugh, the quarterback, first and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Eagles. Myers. And Myers turning the corner out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Dave Duerson on the tackle. Cavanaugh in relief of Joe Montana. Several times in San Francisco, engineered victories for the 49ers, and a couple of times against his new club, the Eagles.
And Matt, a 9-year player, you go from a veteran quarterback to a veteran quarterback. And Buddy Ryan was emphatic in seeking out Matt Cavanaugh. He's always liked him.
2nd and 4. Eagles on their own 46, leading the Bears 3-0, early third quarter. And Michael Haddock drives close to a first down, and that's the best we have seen Michael Haddock in several years. Richard Dent and Dave Duerson combined to make the tackle, shy of a first down.
That was an excellent football play by Richard Dent.
And there's McMahon loosening up on the sideline.
He looks awful loose already with sunglasses and a baseball hat.
That's right. Trying to work on that right arm, that shoulder. We thought was going to be some 4 to 6 weeks, or even about 4. Here's Jaworski, who got his bell rung, and he is expected back. 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. On the inside of midfield, Myers, first down. And Buddy Ryan has to like the way this guy runs. Mike Singletary on the tackle.
Well, I think he's running with much more abandon now than he did early in the ball game. And who can blame him? Keith Byers didn't play in any of the preseason games. Only carried the ball twice last week in that loss to Washington. And it seems like every carry now that he's losing a little of that tentativeness. He's accelerating quicker, and I think he's not afraid to take on the tackler.
Broken right foot, and a lot of people didn't think he'd come back till November. He said, those were the doubters. I never had a doubt myself. Ron Jaworski is back in at quarterback for the Eagles. 1st and 10 on the Bear 47. Myers with Reeves blocking. And it's Duerson who knocks him out of bounds. And they're going to lose 2 yards on the play.
Talk about pressure getting off a handoff. Ron Jaworski, a quarterback. Wilbur Marshall standing up right here is going to come unblocked, and Jaworski lucky to get away the handoff. Wilbur has him already. He's making the handoff to Keith Byers while Wilbur Marshall has a hold of his shoulder pad.
Risky. They lost 2 on the play. Back to the Bear 49-yard line with 12:32 to go in the third quarter. Jaworski shakes and throws it away. He was going for little as tight end, but Wilbur Marshall with a tremendous blitz and great speed from linebacker.
Well, Ron Jaworski has to say, would somebody please block Wilbur Marshall? He's going to come again on the blitz. He's untouched, and Jaworski again has to run for his life. Looping to the inside. Both tackles take an outside rush, and Wilbur Marshall has a straight shot to the quarterback. That's twice now. He single-handedly stopped the Philadelphia offense.
And Randall Cunningham is in now, 3rd and 12. Second year out of UNLV. And down he goes inside the 40. And a loss of 12 on the play. Dan Hampton with tremendous pressure. Perry and Andre Waters are having a little discussion out there. Doesn't look like anything much there.
Dan Hampton with the straight upfield rush. He'll come in from the left of the screen. He's outside of McMichael, who goes inside. We'll see 99 come into the screen. Cunningham already saw him and had to take off, but this is not a good move to try to reverse pivot. Hampton saw that coming and made the play.
It's 4th down. John Telchik will punt, and Lou Barnes is back. 4th and 22. Barnes at the 22-yard line. Barnes to the 40. And out of bounds at the 47-yard line with a fine run back. And it was the punter, John Telchik, who rode him out of bounds after a 26-yard return.
There isn't a Philadelphia Eagle within 12 yards of Lou Barnes when he makes that catch. That gives him the opportunity to head for the sideline. From there, it's nothing but great speed, and the Bears have good field position.
But it'll be interesting to see what Mike Tomczak and the Bears do with good field position. They're on their own 48. Not the best they had today. They were once on the Eagle 32.
And that resulted, though, in a Tomczak interception in the end zone.
Tomczak, it's Willie Galt and a first down at the 39. Evan Cooper making the tackle. Gain of 13.
Let's look at Willie Galt at the bottom of our screen. Faking the post and the quick sideline pattern. That time Evan Cooper, respecting the world speed of Willie Galt, late to react.
First reception of the game for Willie Galt. Coming off his best season. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 39. Moorhead, the tight end, and Roynell Young puts the clamps on him. Practically no gain on the play.
There appeared to be some confusion between Moorhead and Dennis Gentry. Gentry running a pattern to the inside, who was going to clear it out for Moorhead, but Moorhead, who was supposed to go underneath Gentry, didn't have enough room and stumbled making the catch. Dennis Gentry will now break back to the inside. Oh, it's a good jam at the line of scrimmage. Roynell Young jamming Gentry at the line. Didn't give Moorhead any place to go.
2nd and 9. And it's Alonzo Johnson, who intercepted a pass early in the game, and a 2nd-round draft pick over from Florida with help from Greg Brown. So 2 former Florida linebackers featuring prominently in this game. Alonzo Johnson for the Eagles and Wilbur Marshall for the Bears.
And both of them similar type ball players, not exactly huge linebackers in the 215 to 220-pound range. Their forte, though, speed.
3rd and 11 at the 40-yard line. 9:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Keith Ortego, number 89, and Lou Barnes in at wide receiver. Tomczak tripped up and throws the ball away. Reggie White with the pressure. No flag. Loss of 7 on the play. It's 4th down. And Maury Buford will come in to kick, and so once again the Bears don't get anything out of good field position.
And if Reggie White doesn't dive and get a shoestring on Mike Tomczak, he could have gone some distance. Whether he'd have gone all the way to the 1st down, who knows.
Buford kicking, and Phil Smith is back for the Eagles. Will go into the end zone for a touchback. 9:04 remaining. A 47-yard kick. We're in the 3rd quarter, and the Eagles are still beating Chicago.
Gentlemen,
The game was when the Bears took the field, and since then it's been quiet because the Eagles lead Mike Ditka and the Bears 3-0. And coming up next, it'll be the Rams and the 49ers in the 2nd half of our CBS doubleheader. First First and 10 for the Eagles on the 20. Ron Jaworski at quarterback. Jaworski going deep to Phil Smith, and he's got it out of bounds and a first down at the 35. Reggie Phillips covering on the play. Good for 15.
They may talk about Ron Jaworski losing some snap on his arm, but this is a long sideline pattern. Look how Smith turned Reggie Phillips' shoulders on that particular play. Mike Ditka told us that Phillips played poorly last week for exactly that reason. He couldn't keep his shoulders parallel. He kept giving one way or another, and that slows his reaction. And that time Smith with a good catch off did the good move.
At the 35, first and 10, here's Keith Byers cutting inside. Fumble. And the Bears recover. Dan Hampton has the ball. And now the crowd comes alive.
And the umpire's getting buzzed. He's got his walkie-talkie. The replay official may be looking at this. Keith Byers with the football. Let's see if we can see when that ball comes out. Oh, it's clearly out before he's down on the ground.
Replay official is reviewing the play.
Well, our view is just what you indicated, Dan, that it was a bona fide fumble.
That's the way it appeared to me. Let's look from the end zone. Taking the pitch, he'll turn upfield as Byers. Got that football away from his body.
After review by the replay official, the play stands. First down.
So the Bears now with the ball at the Eagles' 34-yard line, their second best starting point all afternoon. And with 8:49 to go in the third quarter, the Bears have yet to score. See what Buddy Ryan's defense has in store here. Bounds inside the 30. Alonzo Johnson on the tackle and a gain of 5.
Hard to argue with that call, giving the ball to Walter Payton. Very close to being a face mask by Alonzo Johnson, but he didn't get the hand, he didn't grab a hold, but it looks like he got something through the face mask, as you can see Walter clutching his face mask. You wonder if he got something in the eye.
Payton has gained 82 yards on 15 carries. Second and 5. That's the Philadelphia 29. Payton with a good cut and a first down to the 22-yard line. Byron Darby and Wes Hopkins bring him down, and now it's bread and butter time for the Bears. They're looking to at least tie it up and maybe take the lead as Mike Ditka talks things over with his offensive people.
That play looked so much like the last play that Walter took all the way to the sideline. He only carried it out 3 or 4 steps that time. Broke back against the grain. The Eagles over pursued. Vintage Walter Payton.
Again. And he broke a couple of tackles. And Payton gets inside the 20 before Mike Reichenbach making the stop. And the ball is placed down at the 18-yard line. Deepest penetration of the afternoon for the Bears with 7:35 remaining in the third quarter.
Mike Reichenbach, who made the tackle. He's Buddy Ryan's Mike Singletary now. He calls all the defenses, makes all the adjustments at the line. East Stroudsburg State, that mecca of football.
Second and 7. Bears at the 18. Tomzak up the middle. Tim Reitman, the tight end, has a first down inside the 5.
To roll out to the left, then he reverses his field. Reitman wide open on the play. The linebacker on the coverage, 2 steps behind. First and goal for the Chicago Bears.
They're on the 2-yard line. A 16-yard pickup to Tim Reitman. And Keith Byers' fumble, but the Eagles set it up. And the refrigerator is in the backfield now with Walter Payton. Blocks for Payton. And Cobb is there at the goal line. No signal yet. William Perry was up front blocking for Walter Payton. And Gary Cobb grabbed Payton right at the goal line. And that's how close they are.
The blocking back. Listen. You can hear the crunch up in the press box. William Perry can deliver a rolling blow.
Second and goal. Payton for the touchdown. The 100th touchdown rushing of Walter Payton's career, and the Bears lead for the first time with 5:45 remaining in the third.
What a lead blocker. Congratulations to Walter Payton.
Kevin Butler to add the 7 point. Steve Fuller holding. Here's the way Walter Payton's 100th career rushing touchdown sounded. Nine minutes for the Bears to take the lead, but they have it as Kevin Butler kicks off. Junior Tautalakazi at the 10-yard line. Return. The Bears are aroused. They're fired up. Dave Duerson on the tackle.
From the ground level in the end zone, let's again take a look at Walter Payton's 100th rushing touchdown. In the background, you'll see Mike Tomczak, the quarterback. Nobody's happier than he. Behind William Perry, Walter Payton in the end zone.
2 milestones for Payton today. There's the scoring drive. Eagles first and 10 on the 24. Behind for the first time. Jaworski completes to Phil Smith and a first down beyond the 40-yard line. Gary Fensick making the tackle on Smith, who originally was a number 4 draft pick by the Colts.
And the Eagles are making no secret of the fact if they're going to work on someone, it's going to be number 27, Mike Richardson. Simply an inside slant. It breaks inside Smith and Richardson, who really could have been called for interference. That's well beyond the 5-yard buffer zone. Nonetheless, though, Smith got the catch.
17 yards to the 42. Byers. Second effort by Byers. Got an extra yard out of that play. He had Ron Baker blocking in front of him. Otis Wilson with help from Fensick on the tackle.
And this is a time where the Eagles offensively would really like to assert themselves. The momentum clearly with the Bears, the crowd back into the game. The Bears with the lead, and the Eagles need a drive. Even if they don't get any points, they want to resume play on the Bears side of the field.
Second down and 9. Jaworski throws it away, and it's intercepted by Duerson. And Dave Duerson is out of bounds. again.
Richard Dent from the top of the screen beats two people, crawls to Ron Jaworski. That could have been in the grass. The Bears got a break that wasn't in the grass. William Perry up the middle. But Richard Dent, clearly the man who made this play happy. Dave Duerson never had it so good. Leonard Mitchell over for the Eagles.
And the Bears first and 10 on the Eagles 30 with 4:02 remaining in the third quarter. Tomczak. He was going for Moorhead as tight end and threw it away. So two turnovers on the part of the Eagles. The fumble by Byers that resulted in Payton's touchdown. Now Duerson's interception. Earlier in the game, Tomczak had thrown two interceptions on his own right.
Richard Dent again beats two people coming in, goes right over the top of Michael Haddix. A back should never go for the cut. That's what happens. And frankly, I think that should have been in the grass. I don't think that play should have ever happened. The official should have whistled that play dead.
Second and 10 at the 30 for Tomczak. On a reverse, Willie Gault being chased by Darby. And Gault goes out of bounds and a Bear first down. There is a 15-yard line and a gain of 15 by Gault.
That's the second time today the Bears have broken containment on a reverse to Willie Gault. Tomczak with the handoff, and Byron Darby, who had contained, number 94, simply out of position, and Willie Gault, if he picks it, he just ran out of field. Willie didn't seem to have a whole lot of inclination about going back inside, taking someone on.
Gault had picked up 33 yards in the first quarter on a reverse. Now it's first and 10 Bears on the Eagles 15. Bears lead at 7-3. Tomczak in trouble. And down he goes. Andre Waters makes the stop, but it was Byron Darby who broke things up for Philadelphia. Loss of 9.
Well, Andre Waters cleaned up because he was coming on the blitz, but give that credit to Byron Darby, rushing from the outside, and almost looked like some confusion on the part of the Bears.
Buddy Ryan now watching his team under the pressure for the first time, trailing and looking at the Bears, who have a second down and 19 now at the 24. Ditka just wants to get out of this game with a win. Draw play, Payton, wide open. Inside the 10. Andre Waters on the stop, well executed for 18 yards.
Wes Hopkins comes on the safety blitz. He's going to be picked up. Here's Wes Hopkins. He's going to shoot on the strong safety blitz, and he's going to be picked up at the line of scrimmage. When you're taking people out of the secondary, if you break the line of scrimmage, Walter Payton right here, as down goes Hopkins right there, and there's no one in the secondary for support. It's a sprint to the goal line for Walter Payton. That's the risk you take. The Eagles got burned.
Third and 1. The 6. Third and 1. Tomczak throws the ball away. Smart move by Tomczak, and it was Ken Clark who put the heat on Mike Tomczak. And Dan, for Walter Payton, he has now gained over 100 yards for the 75th time in his career. It is fourth down.
Tomczak finally showing what he can do when he's under pressure rather than try to force the ball in. Alertly, he just threw it out of the end zone, and Ditka's not happy about the fact that he didn't find an open receiver.
Kevin Butler will try a field goal here with Fuller holding, a 24-yard attempt. And Butler's kick is good. 23-yard attempt by Butler is good. He had missed 2 kicks previously, and 2:16 remain in the third. It is 10-3 Bears. CBS, the second half of our doubleheader, Dan, is a traditional battle between the two West Coast teams, the 49ers and the Rams.
And Joe Montana is not going to play for the 49ers. Jeff Kemp will start. You ought to know a little something about the Ram defense after the years he spent there.
Eric Dickerson.
Average week for Dickerson last week. He only had 193 against the Cardinals.
Rams and 49ers, always something special, and that follows here on CBS. Kevin Butler kicking off. And it's Junior Tautolakazi at the goal line. And he brings it out to the 23-yard line where Jim Morrissey makes the tackle. So this game is like a big title fight in boxing where all the combatants do a lot of talking before the match, but then they settle down the business at hand, and that's what they've done. And here's what the Philadelphia turnovers and how it's hurt them.
And that adds up to 10 points, and that's all Chicago has. 2 mistakes, their total score.
See how Jaworski and the Eagles offense react. Now, 1st and 10 at the 23. 2:06 on the clock in the third. Jaworski incomplete. He was going for Mike Quick, and covering on the play, Mike Richardson.
And Richardson played that quick slant much better than he has a couple of times previous. In good position to make the quick reaction to Quick. I didn't mean to say quick, but he was there. Incomplete pass, Philadelphia. Mike Richardson, good play.
The Eagles worked on him a great deal in the first half to success. 2nd and 10 at the 23. Jaworski dumps it off to Michael Haddix, and Haddix will have an Eagle first down. To the 37-yard line, Wilbur Marshall on the tackle. 14 yards for Haddix.
Wilbur Marshall has Michael Haddix one-on-one out of the backfield. The Ridge gets back before the snap of the ball. We'll see Haddix coming in from the right. But Wilbur Marshall, a good 2 steps behind, and then he breaks the tackle. And it was that extra yardage picked up by Haddix that got the Eagle first down.
Tautolakazi and Haddix make up the backfield now. Good hard slashing running. Gary Fensick making the stop on Haddix, who brings it out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play.
A couple of the Bear offensive linemen, Keith Van Horn, realizing that they're in a dogfight.
Meanwhile, the Eagles know that they could make their season if they can pull this off.
I think you can see by both benches this is serious business.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. 2nd and 4. Tautolakazi comes up about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. Gary Fensick and Dave Duerson, mostly Duerson on the play. And less than a half a minute remaining in the third quarter. Eagles led 3-0 on a McFadden 49-yard field goal at the half. Payton scored for 1 yard out, and Butler kicked the field goal, and that's the story.
And I think the Eagles are going to let the clock run out at the end of the third quarter. And Dick, I'm surprised how well they're able to play a physical game with the Bears. This is a physical club.
They've done that. That'll be it, and that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Bears 10 and the Eagles 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Only an Audi is pure Audi. And now it's even easier to experience all the technical innovations, classic design, luxury, and performance.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Soldier Field. Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf and Tomczak, McMahon, and Fuller sitting together, but the Eagles have it 3rd and 1 on their own 47, trailing 10-3 to Chicago. Keith Byers may have the first down.
Pretty sure he does.
Yep. Byers, second leading career rusher at Ohio State behind Archie Griffin.
Again, I'm impressed by the Eagles and their ability to play hard-nosed, grinded-out football. This is their 9th possession of the day, and they have only had one of their possessions where they only ran 3 plays and punted. 1, that helps you sustain a drive. 2, that helps your defense.
Not like last week.
No resemblance.
First and 10 at the 49. Ron Jaworski finds his man, Dave Little, out of bounds.
There's a flag.
Into Bear territory, Otis Wilson made the stop at the 45 of Chicago, but the yellow flag on the field.
And that, I think, is going to be a late hit, if I could venture a guess.
Yes, you can.
And I have, but that looked like a long way into the Eagle bench.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, 55 defense. First down.
That's a big penalty against the Bears. Otis Wilson. Going to bring the ball to the 30-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Eagles, who are trailing by a touchdown with 14:21 to go in the fourth quarter. To the 26-yard line. Hampton and Perry make the tackle. And now the officials have to intervene again there.
Looks like Mike Singletary and Jerry Theory, the Eagle center, are having a conversation of sorts on the field.
You didn't get into many scraps, did you?
No, I always had Conrad Dobler next to me. He handled all my light work. Pretty tough getting a word in edgewise when everybody wants to have a word with the guy next to me.
Second and 6 at the 25-yard line. Eagles moving the ball nicely on this series. Jaworski has to get rid of it in a hurry and overthrew his man, Kenny Jackson, who felt that he had beaten his man. Mike Richardson was covering, but Jaworski had no time.
Well, that was an audible all the way by Ron Jaworski. This is Gary Fensick right on the line. This is Mike Singletary. He's going to deliver a heck of a shot to the center, but the back's going to come over and pick up Fensick, who comes in on the blitz. This is an audible all the way as he throws the fade pattern. Again, Jaworski looks like a veteran ball player. Big difference between he and Tomczak. Smart play, just didn't work.
Third and 6. First half, the Eagles made a lot of these. Jaworski to Mike Quick. He's got it, and he may score, and he does. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Vesty Jackson was covering, and Mike Quick. A 25-yard touchdown pass, and the Eagles are within a point of the Bears now, 10-9.
Let's take a look. Ground level end zone. Mike Quick will make his break to the outside. Vesty Jackson 2 steps behind, and this is one of the fastest players in the game. He danced the tightrope and scores. And by the way, he was awful close.
McFadden to try to tie the game. Jaworski holding, and the kick is good. And we're tied at 10 apiece. A 25-yard touchdown pass. Jaworski to Mike Quick, and the Eagles back in this game.
Mercedes-Benz was built.
He goes to throw the ball. We'll see a Bear come in from the right side. That's Dave Duerson there on the blitz. That forces single coverage, and Vesty Jackson just can't stay with Mike Quick. He stays in bounds. Eagle touchdown.
And Dan, Mike Quick has scored 35 touchdowns in 47 career starts, which is really a tremendous achievement for a wide receiver. McFadden kicking off to Gentry and Sanders, and it's Thomas Sanders inside the 20. Runs into his own man and is brought down there at the 23-yard line by Rich Cranick. There's a scoring drive. And we want to remind you, next Saturday afternoon, Lou Holtz got off to a rousing start. Notre Dame lost to Michigan, but the Fighting Irish may be back against Michigan State and Lorenzo White, their Heisman Trophy candidate.
And the NCAA's leading rusher last year. It was not Bo Jackson. It was Lorenzo White.
2:30 Eastern next Saturday on CBS. First and 10 Bears on their 24. 13:25 remaining. Calvin Thomas in the backfield. Payton gets the call. And Walter Payton, looking like a 22-year-old colt, is tackled by Roynell Young, but not before he picks up 13 yards.
We're going to see a blitz coming. You see Reichenbach is right up on the line. I believe even this is going to come all the way up inside. We're going to see a trap. Walter Payton then is going to feel the void to the backside, and he'll make the break. Andre Waters gets picked off. Against the grain goes Walter Payton. And why would you give it to anyone else?
At the 37, first and 10 Bears. That time they do. Calvin Thomas tripped up. And Thomas to the 40-yard line. Wes Hopkins making the stop on Thomas. Payton going over 100 yards rushing in a game for the 75th time in his sensational career.
And this is a hard-hitting football game. Are you as aware as I of the feeling? You can almost feel the crunching clear up here in the booth.
I can hear it.
Better to hear it than to feel it.
Second and 7 at the 40 for the Bears. Mike Tomczak placing Jim McMahon in quarterback today. Payton, quick opener. And Payton gets to Eagle territory. And a first down for the Bears. Hopkins on the shoe-top tackle. 13 more for Walter.
The Eagles must start doing a better job of closing off the backside. You can see for yourself the size of that hole. The Eagle defense over pursuing Walter Payton, sensing it, feeling it, moving to the backside and getting some big chunks of yardage.
What did Mike Ditka say? He says, they say you can't run on the 46. We're going to prove you can.
Walter Payton can run on anything. Maybe water.
In Eagle territory at the 47, first and 10. Tomczak gets rid of it to Willie Galt. Out of bounds inside the 30, and another first down. Evan Cooper covering.
Willie making the big plays, both in receiving. Remember his reverses. The Bears pick up the blitz. Alonzo Johnson picked up by Calvin Thomas, and Evan Cooper, number 21, giving way too big a cushion to Willie Galt. And hasn't Michael Tomczak seemed to have settled down?
Well, he's got to have something nice to talk about on his radio show and in his newspaper column that he writes for the Hammond Times in suburban Chicago. First and 10 at the 29. Bears threatening in a tie game, 10 apiece. Tomczak has it. Almost intercepted by Hopkins. The pass was intended for Reitman, and Hopkins is shaken up, and he's grasping his left ankle. He collided with Alonzo Johnson in trying to break up that pass.
When you're a young quarterback, you really do feel that you can get the football anywhere. One of the lessons Mike Tomczak has to learn is to not force the football. He throws right into coverage. He sees his receiver open for just a moment, but Wes Hopkins, gets hit right on the lower leg by his own teammates. Tim Reitman, the intended receiver. Wes Hopkins, the Eagle closest to the sideline. Let's take a close look at it. The ball actually bounces off of Hopkins. I believe that was Alonzo Johnson came in.
Tough one. Wes Hopkins, who's such an important member of the Eagles' defense. There's Terry Hogue, who played with the Saints the last 2 years, who will be Hopkins' replacement. And we have a timeout with 11:03 remaining in the game. We're all tied at 10 apiece. Elsewhere around the league, Dan, let's take a look. Atlanta clinging to their lead over the Cardinals.
The Cardinals came back to make it close, still 4 down. New Orleans looks like they may win their first game.
And it's Dallas over Detroit, 17-0 in the Silverdome. That's no easy feat Giants leading San Diego 10-7 in the fourth quarter.
I'm a little surprised for only 7 points for the Chargers.
Low-scoring game there.
I'd have thought there'd have been more points there. The Raiders lead by 3.
Jim Kelly, huh? You think he's made an impact with the Buffalo Bills? Houston's going to be tough, it looks like. And coming up later today, it'll be the 49ers and the Rams. Walsh against Robinson, Dickerson against Craig, and it'll be Jeff Kemp, quarterback.
Joe Montana will not play, and here's good news. Wes Hopkins up and walking off the field without even limping very much. This is excellent news.
You know, in that game in Anaheim, home field advantage means absolutely nothing because the 49ers have beaten the Rams 5 straight times in Anaheim.
And the Rams, the defending champions of the NFC West, but a lot of people like the 49ers this year. I know you do.
I think the 49ers, because of the addition of Cribbs and Walsh not liking to lose. Dick Stockton, Dan Deerdorf here at Soldier Field. Far different game than most people anticipated. We had all the hoopla with Ditka against Ryan, but on the field it's been a crunching game, and the Eagles have looked terrific in holding the Bears to a tie with that much time remaining. Second down and 10 at the 29, so Terry Hogue is in for Hopkins. Peyton has blocked. Manages to turn that corner and get a couple, but it looked like he might have been in trouble. Gets to the 25, gain of 4. Gary Cobb on the hit.
Reitman slow to get up, but he's okay, back at it. They love to give Walter the ball, let him go parallel to the line of scrimmage, and then make up his mind when he can make that 90-degree turn and head upfield. One of the things the Bears do so well is that they have offensive linemen who can run. That time Jimbo Covert came from his left tackle spot all the way to this near sideline to lead the play, and then Walter turned up.
Keith Ortego, a wide receiver, and Thomas Sanders into the game, number 20. They send Sanders in motion, 3rd and 6. And Gentry flips to Walter Payton. And Payton is stopped shy of a first down at the 20-yard line. It was Brenard Wilson and Reggie White combining to make a tackle, and a little razzle-dazzle doesn't work for the Bears, and it's 4th and 1. What are you going to do, Mike? He's got a big decision here.
He's not doing anything.
Do you take the 3 points and get the lead now, or do you say, let's see if we can get 7?
Well, the clock is down to 30-second clock. It's down to 10 seconds.
And a timeout has been called by the Bears. What's the rationale after waiting all that time and then calling the timeout?
Well, because clearly they weren't going to be able to get in and get a playoff in time. Indecision on the Bears sideline forced them to take that timeout. I don't know if Mike was listening to the crowd. I think they were making their sentiments known. They didn't want to see Mr. Butler run out and attempt a field goal.
So the timeout called by the Bears, and they have 2 remaining in a tie game, 10-10, certainly well within Kevin Butler's range. And the Bears have been kind of struggling all afternoon, and you would think that the 3-pointer would be the safe way to go, but maybe that's not in Mike Ditka's mind right now.
No, I can tell you it's not in his mind right now, because out comes the field goal team. Now, just because the field goal team is out there doesn't mean necessarily they're going to kick the ball.
You're right.
How daring would you be in this situation?
He's been daring already in this game.
Well, we just saw the option with Gentry optioning the ball to Walter Payton.
And keep in mind that Fuller is a quarterback, and he can run and he can throw. A 37-yard attempt by Kevin Butler, who was 1 for 3 this afternoon. And Butler misses again, off to the right, and Mike Ditka on 4th and 1 says, let's go for maybe a sure 3. But Butler misses, and the score remains tied at 10 apiece, and there's uneasiness in the sold-out Soldier Field crowd right now.
Kevin Butler approaches the ball. Clearly pushes it out to the right. In a surprise, we're still tied.
Eagles Eagles ball, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. All tied, 10 apiece. 10:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. Keith Byers gets a couple, and that's all. Tackled by Otis Wilson. So Kevin Butler has already missed 5 field goals. In the first 2 games of this year, he missed 7 in regular season last year. So this is a totally different year for Kevin Butler so far.
And it really is hard to argue with Ditka's decision there to go ahead and kick the field goal and take the 13-10 lead. But not to be. Still 10-10 tie.
2nd and 7 at the 23. Jaworski, and unable to hold on, and a flag is down. Haddix may have been interfered with by Otis Wilson. That would be a 1st down if that's the case for the Eagles.
Otis Wilson having a tough 4th quarter.
Interference, number 55, defense, 1st down.
First of 2 penalties for Otis Wilson here, right?
Michael Haddix out of the backfield, making the break right there. Very difficult to see. You can see Wilson's right arm grasping Haddix around the midsection. It's difficult to tell from there where the ball was, though, when his arm was wrapped around.
Coming off his best season, Otis Wilson. But the Eagles with a 1st and 10 on their 26-yard line. 9:27 remaining in the 4th quarter of a tie game. Who expected this? Jaworski flushed out of the pocket. And it's intercepted. And it's Otis Wilson. Out of bounds at the 30. Haddix had it and lost it. And Wilson made amends in a hurry.
Amends is exactly what it is. Michael Haddix at the left ear screen will make a break to the right. He's initially covered by Mike Singletary. The ball through Singletary's arms, but hits Haddix right to Otis Wilson. And if we follow this all the way to the sideline, watch Richard Dent put a hit on number 66, Ken Reeves, right here. Boom! That's coming back and helping out a friend.
Wilson on the interception, and now the Bears at the Eagles 30, 1st and 10. With 9:13 remaining in the 4th quarter. Walter Payton is brought down quickly by Reggie White, and a loss on the play. Good penetration by Reggie White.
The Bears' version of student body right. It doesn't work, though, if someone gets quick penetration. That's what the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, did on that play. By the way, he wore number 91 last year. Switched over this year to 92.
It's a new year.
Can we assume that he'll be 93 next year?
Bears are starting for the 3rd time in Eagle territory this half, and 3 turnovers have not helped Philadelphia's upset hopes. 2nd and 13. And a fake reverse. Walter Payton can throw it, and he does, right in the hands of Andre Waters for a Philadelphia interception, and a penalty marker is down at the spot that Payton got rid of the ball. So let's hold it.
He may have kept it by Waters.
Well, let's see what happened. I wonder if he was trying to throw the ball away. I think he went beyond the line of scrimmage.
Or it, yes.
Illegal forward pass thrown from beyond the scrimmage line. 34, offense, decline, 1st down.
So for Andre Waters, that is his 2nd interception of the ball game and the 3rd interception by the Eagles.
They faked the reverse to Dennis Gentry. I just really wonder if Walter wasn't trying to throw this football away and just didn't throw it far enough.
I think you're right.
Because there's no one in the vicinity. A mistake by Payton. The Eagles still alive.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be all you can be. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. One of pro football's most feared defenders is number 48 Wes Hopkins of the Philadelphia Eagles. Self-sacrifice, especially when it comes to hitting, and all-out hustle are the trademarks of the 4th-year free safety. Through hard work and extra effort, Wes Hopkins has quickly risen from obscurity to perennial All-Pro status, proving that he is indeed the best he can be.
And because no one expected the Eagles to play like this, 3 turnovers in the second half, and they have avoided disaster so far.
Well, with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the ball game, it almost appears now that the team that puts together one good drive will win it.
All right, the 49ers and Rams will follow this game, the second half of our CBS doubleheader. For a report, let's go to Pat Summerall in Anaheim. Pat?
Thank you very much, Dick. And, of course, the big news here in Anaheim is the fact that the 49ers' great quarterback, Joe Montana, did not make the trip, and he won't start, obviously. Let's take a look at what he's done here, Montana, if he were here. 5-0 against the Rams at their home stadium. All is not lost, however. Jeff Kemp will start, and when he played for the Rams, he was 9-4 and took them to the playoffs. So this should be an interesting contest. Back to Dick Stockton.
Thank you very much, Pat. First and 10 for the Eagles on the 20-yard line. 8 minutes and 20 seconds remain, fourth quarter. And Pete Byers is demolished at the line of scrimmage by William Perry and Dave Duerson, 2 guys who can do just that.
Very good choice of words. He was demolished at the line of scrimmage. Caught between 3 Bears, Byers, who on more than one occasion today has had absolutely nowhere to go. The Eagles didn't plan on running very much against the Bears. I think maybe even they're surprised at some of the success they've had, but not on that play.
Gain of 2 at the 22. They go again with a running game, and it's Michael Haddix this time. Might have brought it out to the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and long 5. Bensick and Singletary make the tackle. Michael Haddix, of all people, has to feel very good about the way he's played today. Been kind of a forgotten man, but he's looked fine.
Well, what did Buddy Ryan say about Michael Haddix early in the preseason? Looked like an overweight old USFL guard.
Third and 5. Coming in on Jaworski. Tortolatossi has a first down on the receiving end beyond the 30-yard line to the 33. Wilbur Marshall and Mike Singletary the tackle, and once again Jaworski makes good on third down.
And Tortolatossi, called Smith by Buddy Ryan, he can't say Tortolatossi. That time puts a good move back to the inside on Mike Singletary. Singletary out of control, can't react back to the inside, and Junior picks up the first down for Philadelphia. I hate to call it a key first down, but to have turned the ball over to the Bears without getting the first down, big momentum shift for the Bears.
6:20 remaining, fourth quarter. Ball at the 32. Jaworski to Quick, and he's got it at the 38-yard line. Reggie Phillips was right there.
Again, sensing the blitz. Sensing the blitz, Ron Jaworski is not going to take the 9-yard drop out of sight. He's only going to go back to right in here, 3 steps, and bang, he's going to get rid of the football. Singletary up the middle on the blitz. Jaws unloads it, completes it to Mike Quick. Good feel for the game.
Jaworski 16 of 27 for 160 yards. 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Second and 4. Michael Haddix working his way to the 40, and it'll be third down and short yardage now. Third and about 1.5 yards. It was William Perry again with Mike Singletary right behind.
Teams around the league must feel like they're butting up against a stone wall. Hampton, McMichael, Perry, Dent with Singletary in the middle. Sometimes it must seem so just futile trying to run the football.
What did Vince Tobin say about Singletary?
We asked him if he had any flaws, and he said, none that I know of. You'd have to ask his wife. He's a complete football player.
It's third and 2, and the Eagles will call a timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts remaining in a 10-10 game with 4 minutes and 57 seconds to go. And the Eagles, who were whomped at Washington last week, and the Bears, who beat the Browns but gave up 31 points, 24 by the defense, and a lot of people want to know who are the Eagles and who are the Bears as far as the 1986 editions are concerned. Well, tonight on CBS, the season premiere of 60 Minutes. Presidential address will follow that. maybe 10, more.
10. Yeah.
Maybe more.
This may go beyond 60 minutes. Hasn't been too tough a day for Jim McMahon. Jim Kelly, 33 points for Buffalo.
Jerry Glanville may have Houston, the only team to win last week in the AFC Central, go 2 up.
That would put the Browns off to an 0-2 start.
The schedule for the Bears isn't that tough. Only the Cowboys and the Rams with winning records on their schedule.
That's correct.
3rd and 2 now for the Eagles on their 41-yard line. And Keith Byers stopped short. Very close. But I believe he is shy of a first down. Now they'll unravel the athletes. Mike Richardson coming up strong from the secondary.
Coming up strong and coming up low. Mike Richardson disrupts the play. I think we'll see, we've got an Eagle player injured as their trainers are called in from the sideline by Dick Jorgensen.
And it may be Keith Byers.
Possible to tell from here.
Byers in his first NFL start today after being the 10th pick in the draft.
Let's watch Keith Byers, the tailback, taking the pitch from Jaworski. Following Haddocks, there's Richardson that hits him low, and Richardson just somersaults Byers, who still is down on the field.
It's 4th down and a yard, and Telchik will come in to kick it. Byers has gained 32 yards on 19 carries, so his debut has been a hard-working day this afternoon. And there's Telchik, and they're still working on Keith.
Did a complete somersault in the air after Richardson hit him low.
You pointed it out, Dan. This has been a tremendous hitting game, and they're working on that right leg right now. And, of course, it was that foot that he had surgery on. It was broken and came back quicker than most observers expected. And right now, for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Dick, Herschel Walker doing it all for the Dallas Cowboys. In the first half, he was a flanker. Now he's the I-back. And look at him power his way into the end zone for this touchdown. The Cowboys all over the Lions. 31-0 in the 4th quarter. Next week, Cowboys Atlanta on CBS. Let's go back to Dick Stockton.
Thank you, Brent. And, of course, to do it at the Silver Dome, the way the Cowboys are doing, is mighty impressive indeed.
Who is that Walker fellow? Is he a rookie?
yeah, never played before.
Looks like he may make it in this league.
Coming up today, you'll see another great running back in Eric Dickerson of the L.A. Rams. You'll see Joe Cribbs, who came to San Francisco from the Buffalo Bills as the 49ers battle the Rams. And Byers is up and gets a hand from the crowd.
Well, keep in mind that the Chicago area is Big Ten country, and Keith Byers, with his brilliant career at Ohio State, was maybe an adversary when they came to play Northwestern, but still his talent's appreciated.
It'll be 4th down, and Telchik is in to punt. Lou Barnes is back for the Bears. Fair catch by Barnes. And it takes a Bear bounce and roll. And will stop dead at the 36-yard line. And Walter Payton and company will go on the field with the offense. That was a 22-yard kick by Telchik, who certainly will not be leading the NFC in punting after this week.
No, I don't think so. And I'm wondering why some of the Eagle players didn't attempt to keep the ball from rolling back. Looked like someone may have been able to get a hand on it and save themselves a few yards.
Telchik with a 21 and a 22-yard punt this afternoon. And Wes Hopkins is back on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles, and good news for them.
Oh, that's super.
4:26 remaining in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 Bears on the 36. High score, 10 apiece. Suey and Matsui, stopped by Reggie White and Greg Brown. Each team with 2 timeouts left. It'll be 2nd and 7. Keith Byers has a bruised right knee, and it's questionable whether Keith will be back. Ditka and Ryan, they were at center stage before this game got underway. Players took over.
Buddy Ryan was on the field for warm-ups. He must have had 100 cameramen surrounding him.
2nd and 7 at the 39. Payton. What moves? Reichenbach after Young hit Payton. And we have 33-35 to go.
The Bears get so many people out in front of Walter Payton. I don't know how he reads the defense to make a cut. All he sees are dark blue jerseys in front of him. The Bears extremely effective in getting blockers for Walter.
Keep in mind that the field goal has not been a good luck charm for the Bears today, as Kevin Butler has missed 4 out of 5. 3 out of 4, I take that. 3rd and 3 at the 43-yard line. 3 minutes to go. And Walter Payton is hit by Wes Hopkins, who stormed in there. Big play by the Eagle defense.
He may be a free safety that doesn't like to play linebacker, but I think we see why Buddy Ryan wants him to play linebacker. Wes stayed about 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, came up and made the hit right on the line of scrimmage. For a guy that took a shot like he took as recently as he did, he sure looked good on that play.
Bill Smith is back, and Maury Buford punting. And Smith at the 11-yard line. Brought down at the 18, and the clock stops with 2:17 remaining. Sean Gale on the tackle, a 47-yard kick by Buford.
And Buford is winning the punting derby. He's putting the Eagles inside their own 20. And if the Eagles aren't getting anywhere, Telchik isn't carrying his share with those 22 and 25 yarders.
Last week, Ron Jaworski and the Eagles spent most of the afternoon inside their 25 and couldn't get anything going. But Jaworski's experience has kept the Eagles in the game offensively today.
And now strategy really comes to play. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. In a tie ball game, the Eagles have to be looking at some first downs.
And they have a field goal kicker who can kick them long.
Not this long.
No. Totolatazi and Haddix are the running backs at the 18, 1st and 10. Junior Totolatazi. Tackled from behind at the 20, picks up 2 yards. Steve McMichael on the stop. And we're going to have our 2-minute warning, and there's a man who could loom large before this is over. Paul McFadden. Our 2-minute warning is in effect. Philadelphia and Chicago in the big confrontation, all tied up at 10-all.
The Mercedes-Benz driving.
2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf in the much-awaited clash between the Eagles and the Bears, and we're all tied at 10 apiece, looking at one of the big spotlight people.
Well, did we expect anything else than a 10-10 game between Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka? 2 men who, let's just be honest about it, can't stand each other. And yet we've got a whale of a football game on our hands. 2 minutes left. The Eagles have to move it.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 8 at the 20. Jaworski up the middle to Mike Quick, and a first down at the 32-yard line. Quick caught a touchdown pass of 25 yards earlier. Marshall and Singletary on the tackle. Gain of 12, and the Redskins beat the Raiders, Dan.
Final of 10-6. That game at RFK. It is so hard to go to RFK and win.
1st and 10 at the 32. That was good for 12 yards. Jaworski flips it out to Totolatazi, and he's out of bounds. Stopping the clock with 1:22 remaining. Otis Wilson and Wilbur Marshall that time. They didn't pick up much on that play.
Buddy Ryan calling the offensive signals, of course, you know, with the final say being the head coach, but a defensive-oriented coach. You think he's thinking, I'm willing to go into overtime 10-10, rather than risk the turnover here in my own territory. You just can't flip a switch and stop thinking defense when you've done it for so long.
And his team has turned it over 3 times this half. 2nd and 9 at the 33. Jaworski flushed out by Dent and throws it away, and that's what an experienced quarterback will do every time.
And Richard Dent is beating 2 people as we see Jaworski still on all fours over in the Eagle bench, and Mike Singletary down for the Bears as well, out on the field.
Looks like Singletary is the worse off of the 2 at this point. Jaworski already was knocked out of the game once, and Matt Cavanaugh came in. And I'm not so sure. Maybe they both are bearing the brunt of these hits.
Ron Jaworski is seriously hurt. Let's see if we can pick it up. Ron Jaworski stretching it for the sidelines. William Perry. Oh, no wonder he's hurt.
Philadelphia also mandatory for injury. Both teams had 2 timeouts.
When an injured player goes down on the field in the final 2 minutes of the half or the game, you are automatically charged with a timeout. And in this case, Dick Jorgensen is charging both the Bears and the Eagles because of their respective players being down.
So each team now has only 1 timeout remaining, which could be a factor. Matt Cavanaugh has come into the game for the Eagles. Cavanaugh did not throw the ball when he came in for Jaworski earlier. Mike Singletary goes out of the ball game, and he's replaced by Ron Rivera, a 3rd-year linebacker out of the University of California.
Well, if we're talking just about this particular situation with this much time left in a ball game, that is a swap that favors the Bears. To lose Ron Jaworski at this point of the game when they have a drive underway, especially a 3rd and 9, this is putting Matt Cavanaugh in a difficult spot.
And he hasn't thrown yet. So 1:14 on the clock. High score, 10 and 10. The Atlanta Falcons go 2-0 on the year, beating the Cardinals, who are 0-2, and New Orleans wins their first. 3rd and 9. Cavanaugh. And it's picked off and fumbled.
The Eagles may have it.
Mike Richardson intercepted and then lost the ball, and it's, let's see, we'll wait for the official call. Eagles have it. What a break. And a bad break for the Bears. Pass was intended for Ron Johnson.
Let's take a look at it from behind. Cavanaugh threw the ball behind his intended receiver. You see Quick there breaking to the inside, but he was trying to get it to Ron Johnson. Richardson came up with the ball, but then he stripped. He loses it.
Here's Cavanaugh, 1st and 10 at the 48. And Cavanaugh gets to Bear territory at the 45, where Dan Hampton makes the stop. Lining up without a huddle. Cavanaugh completes the throw to Akarji, who goes out of bounds and stops the clock with 16 seconds to go. I don't believe they're close enough for Paul McFadden. Wilson on the stop.
No, but 1 completion. They're going to spot the ball just outside the 45. Paul McFadden has a stronger leg. He's kicked a pair of 52-yarders in his career.
Timeout Story. 16 seconds to go, and the Eagles need a lot of yardage, or enough yardage, to set up McFadden and make use of the 1 timeout left.
Well, they'd like at least 10 to 15 yards on this play.
15, maybe more like it. 3rd and 7 at the 45 of Chicago. Cavanaugh up the middle, intercepted. Mike Richardson into Eagle territory and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. this half by the Eagles.
Pat Cavanaugh trying to force the ball down the middle, but Richardson, anticipating it, cleanly breaks in front of Johnson, holding the ball in a rather unorthodox position. But the Bears will get a play if they choose to run one with 7 seconds.
Butler is out there. It'll be a 55-yard attempt.
Well, he doesn't have this kind of range. I don't believe he does.
It's either this or overtime.
A 47-yarder is his career best.
7 seconds to go to win it for the Bears if he can. And it's no good. It was on the mark, but just short. And we still have 1 second on the clock. And Butler really upset himself. And did he scare Buddy Ryan?
He made him look. That's about the best reaction you're going to get from Buddy. That is called a sigh of relief.
1 second away from overtime, and Butler 1 for 5 on the day in the field goal department. So what bizarre plays in the final seconds of this regulation.
Well, the Eagle quarterbacks have really thrown some poor passes here in the second half. I mean, passes right to Chicago players that really have cost them dearly.
Randall Cunningham is in at quarterback, and a real prevent defense for the Bears.
10, 20, 30, 45 yards.
1 second to go. Cunningham, let's go. And that'll do it. And we're headed for overtime at Soldier Field. And if somebody would have told you, Dan, before this game that Ditka and Ryan would go into overtime, you would have said, where have you been?
Well, there'll be a toss of the coin. Midfield, safe to say it won't be Buddy and Mike calling heads or tails. If you're Buddy Ryan, you've almost won the contest already.
If there's such a thing as a moral victory, Buddy's got it. It's 10-10, going to overtime, as Butler missed a 55-yard field goal attempt. He had missed a 37-yarder earlier. And then we had, and deep for the Eagles, Junior Tartalatazzi to the right and Charles Crawford to the left.
Of all the turnovers we saw in the fourth quarter, maybe the most costly, when you look at the scoreboard, was Walter Payton's interception that he threw to Waters in the end zone, because that was the only one that happened in the plus territory. That could have been fair points.
9 turnovers, 5 by Philadelphia, 4 by Chicago. Crawford at the goal line. Charles Crawford loses the ball. And the Bears may have it. They do. Jackson recovered the fumble for Chicago. Sanders and Duerson made the hit.
The football comes loose. Dave Duerson gets a hand on it from behind. It takes one hop right into the arms of Vesty Jackson. And Soldier Field, they're on their feet.
So the rookie from Oklahoma State pops it up on the kickoff return, and it's 1st and 10 Bears on the Philadelphia 35. Peyton and Ken Clark and company pile them up after a gain of 2, and maybe Kevin Butler is having a miserable afternoon, 1 for 5. We'll have another chance.
Like playing golf. You can bogey 17 holes, but if you shoot par on the 18th, you always want to come back. If Butler hits this last one, all will be well.
2nd down and 8 at the 33. Eagles have turned it over 6 times today. Tomzak rushed by Clark, and an incomplete pass. It was intended for Dennis Gentry. And Roynell Young covering on the play, and the crowd was yelling for pass interference.
Let's see if we can catch an eyeful of this. Roynell Young, number 43, goes up and over the back of Dennis Gentry. Looked clean from that side. Gentry asking for the call, doesn't get it.
3rd down and 8 at the 33-yard line. The Bears are only 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions today. The Eagles have fared much better. And Tomczak wants to use one of the 2 timeouts the Bears have in overtime right here. And a smart move.
He was down to 4 seconds on the 30-second clock, and this is not the place nor the time to make a forced play. Tomczak, I think, wise in taking the timeout.
While we have that timeout, let's bring you up to date on scores around the National Football League as the finals continue to come in. Ball is at the 33 of the Eagles. And has the ball inside the 25. Certainly with enough range, but the Bears will have the 1st down. A big one for Chicago. Reggie White and Roynell Young on the tackle, and Walter Payton's having a marvelous game.
There's something so fitting about a man with shoulders this broad being able to convert it when you need it. Behind the block of his offensive lineman, his 2 guards we've seen all day long, Bortz and Thayer. Walter Payton, instead of stepping out of bounds, turns upfield and picks up the Bear 1st down.
159 yards rushing for Walter Payton today. 1st and 10 on the Eagle 24. Payton again. To the 20. Andre Waters. And 2 minutes have elapsed in sudden death overtime. Charles Crawford fumbled the kickoff to start the overtime session. The Bears recovered, and they are controlling the ball, getting in position for what they hope will be the winning points.
And Mike Ditka, I think it's safe to say, would just as soon get a touchdown out of this. I don't think he wants to send Kevin Butler back out on the field after the day he's had. I think he'd be more than happy to let Walter run it in.
I think Kevin would like to get back out there himself. 2nd and 6 at the 20. They go to Payton again. Inside the 15, and another 1st down for Chicago. Alonzo Johnson. And the crowd loves it. 75, 100-yard game. 15,000 career yards.
Bringing in the chains to see if this is a 1st down for the Bears. The Bears, when they need it, are getting it. They're looking like the Super Bowl champions they are right now. 1st down.
Buddy Ryan indicates that he wants the timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears, and the Eagle defense wants to talk it over. We'll be back. And Walter Payton has been the man in the spotlight late in the game and in overtime so far for the Bears.
Well, when we knew Jim McMahon wasn't going to play, it was no secret that if Walter Payton was the same old guy, the Bears would be in it because he had to do it. We knew that Walter had to carry the ball 25 times if the Bears were going to win.
1st and 10 at the 14 for Chicago. Matsui for a couple.
Matsui carried.
Well within Kevin Butler's range. And the Rams with a field goal leading the 49ers. You'll see that game coming up as soon as this one is over. Second down and 8. All the Bears want to do is avoid a mistake here. Payton vaults to the 5-yard line. A about a yard shy of a first down. Ryan and Ditka watching an overtime battle here.
Again, the Bears pulling their entire offensive line. Out come Bortz and Thayer. Turning upfield, getting the block, and Walter Payton taking to the air. My gosh, he's splendid.
It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 5-yard line. And Tomczak carries all the way to the 2-yard line, and a first down for the Bears, who are getting ready to drive the ball over the goal line to win it. First down at the 3. Tomczak with a rocky beginning, kind of straightened himself out in the second half there.
Run another quarterback sneak. Let him take it in.
And the Bridge is in the game.
Steve McMichael checks in. He'll be one of the tight ends, number 76 in the huddle.
Reggie Singletary, who's no relation to Mike, for the Eagles, number 97, and Clyde Simmons, 96, are in goal line defense. First and goal.
They're almost out of time. Did he get it off, or is there going to be a penalty? I don't think he called timeout in time.
The flag has been thrown.
I don't think he got the timeout called in time. We may get a delay.
Delay. Number 18. Offense.
Ooh.
Bad time. Bad time, and Mike Ditka.
Well, you know, we can't honestly say that that's Tomczak's fault. Remember, Perry and everyone had to come in off of the sideline. If they took too long in making a decision, if they took too long in sending in William Perry and McMichael, it's tough to blame that on the young quarterback.
It is first and goal back at the 8-yard line. This had to be an agonizing afternoon for Mike Ditka, who visualized a different scenario. Buddy Ryan would love to see the win. It's going to be tough. Payton stopped outside the 5-yard line. And it'll be second down. And you fool around long enough back there, funny things happen often.
Overtime, a final Cincinnati wins, and here comes Butler. On second down, the Bears are going to kick.
Well, you know, you do get yourself in a rut, and you could lose the ball to try to win it.
But if he misses,
he's 1 for 5. This will be a 23-yard attempt, Fuller holding. And the Eagles call a timeout. They have used up their timeouts in overtime. And the natural question is, Dan, do they do that at this point to try to give Butler something to think about, or are these pros and it's not really a factor?
I don't know. Of course he's doing it to let Butler think about it. Buddy knows the kind of day that he's had, 1 for 5. I'm just very surprised, I'll be honest with you, that with 2 more cracks at getting into the end zone, with Butler having a 1 for 5 day, that Ditka's going for it like this.
Butler has made good on a 23-yarder. He has missed them from 38, 47, 37, and 55 yards, and getting encouragement there from Fuller, because he's in a slump right now.
Now, keep in mind, it is only second down. You could easily run a fake off of this field goal. All that happens if you don't go anywhere, it's just third down. Now, that would be a heck of a call.
10-10. Unexpected, to say the least. McFadden's field goal put the Eagles in front 3-0. Bears led 10-3 before the Eagles came back with a touchdown. Then came the mistake. And now Kevin Butler will try to win it.
I'd run a fake.
They know the kick is up. The kick is good, and the Bears have won it. overtime. The Bears beat the Eagles 13-7, 13-10. And the sixth turnover by the Eagles was the killer in overtime. But Dan, the Eagles grew up a lot today, but the Bears had the stuff of champions.
The winning field goal by Kevin Butler. He leaves no decision whatsoever. It is right there. Yes. Thank heavens I finally did it.
Kevin Butler, 2 for 6 on the afternoon, and Mike Ditka's reaction. Long day, it's over. And the Ditka-Ryan battle is history. And Buddy Ryan said this is over with, and he ran to the dressing room 13-10. A loser to Mike Ditka and the Bears this afternoon. But Dan Dierdorf, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Soldier Field in Chicago. The final score, the Bears 13, the Eagles 10 in overtime. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Nobody has lower fares than United to more cities across this land.